Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Always supports us. Thank you. Our ambassador sponsors. Delta Airlines, who actually flew some of our inductees here tonight. Heritage Works.
And my team, Woodward Sports, who made me fall in love with sports again. Shout out to Ryan and Marty, shout out to Matt, shout out to you guys, I love you dearly. It's just support. None of us are up here without that, in this journey, without that support, friends and family. And so for me, it's just a continued journey from February 21st, 1983 to today. Shut up, Tweety. So I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. Whether it's friends, I see you guys, love you, I'm here because of you. This is us getting this award. This is us walking into this Hall of Fame. It's us. I love you guys.
Bye. Michigan Sports.
You know what time it is?
Hall of Fame, man.
Recognize. Hey, look, man.
Ooh, you got some goodies over here, huh?
Look, I put that work in on the field. You know what time it is, but that's besides the point. This is about family. This is about the city. This is about my team, and my team includes Woodward Sports. Oh, my God. I got my boy Brandon Dent in the building. KG over there, man.
Sir.
Same show. This is just a blessing to be here, man. Blessing to be with my fam. Yo, Woodward Sports, you never know what the F is going on, but it's always going to be good, though. Tell you.
The Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. It got me to thinking, with all of these great people that are being honored tonight, who is your favorite, or some of your favorite athletes that have played in the state of Michigan, pro, college, high school, and they made a big impact? Talk to me.
Ben Wallace was my guy.
The greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson. Pavel Datsyuk, absolute legend. Big number 58, Penei Sewell.
Well, there's so many, but first guy that comes to my mind is Calvin Johnson. I love Megatron. Megatron's my guy.
I was rocking his jersey last week. It's got to be the captain, Stevie Y.
Number 19.
19.
Hey, let's go.
Starts with Isaiah Thomas. You know, growing up, being such a fan of the Bad Boys. I love Derek Jeter. Love Derek Jeter.
Well, you know I got to go Barry Sanders first.
This is the Cecil Fielder book.
Cecil Fielder.
This is the Cecil Fielder book, baby.
Ryan Ermanni, Grosse Pointe South, by far my favorite athlete to play in the state of Michigan.
Let's go, baby. Ryan Ermanni, oh my God.
Let's go. I endorse this message. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. FeldmanAuto.com. Hey, what up, dope people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Wake Up Woodward show. Man, what a time we had last night. Boots out on the ground at the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. It was their 70th anniversary, their 67th induction ceremony, and it was beautiful. Our guy, Braylon Edwards, got inducted last night amongst others, but chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of the entire WUW Crew production. So go ahead and smash that like button. And let's get this Friday show jumping. This is your boy Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. Let there be sound.
Let there be sound.
Hey, I can hear. I feel so naked when I don't got the sound in the
Things happen in this booth, man. when I leave, just things happen. That's all I gotta say. I don't know.
Shout out, man. Shout out to the vet of the squad and the network that is Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother? Good morning.
You know, KG, I feel you in so many ways because that's how I got my start here. But I think there were probably a couple times where I'll admit where I was the one who maybe pushed the wrong button, just to be just in the interest of fairness. But yeah. I don't know what would have happened because it would have just been you. And Nick's obviously trustworthy, but he wasn't here and they were at a remote. But you know what? All is well that ends well. You fixed it because that is what KG does.
Damn right.
Nobody I'd rather have in that audio booth than Mr. KG.
Hey, that is the truth because that is Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG. a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
What up, though,
brother?
Hey, man, tired, man. That was a long day yesterday, man. But shout out to everybody at the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. It was quite the experience. My first time being at something as formal as that. But, man, Braylon getting, his just due, and then seeing Cecil Fielder. Mad we didn't get a chance to see Pudge or Jim Harbaugh. Kind of expected those. But shout out to Deanna Nolan, Tweety Bird, man. She was awesome. And just everybody was so nice, man. Got to meet a couple people, got to shake hands, did do a little parlaying, as we like to say. So, man, it was quite the experience.
Go WNBA shot. Goodness gracious, boy, what an experience. I'm sorry, KJ, I got excited.
No, you all good, man.
That's bro, like I told her last night, like, hey, you know what? We can be professional, covering the Pistons on the beat and all of that. But growing up, I was a fan of hers. And she was a hooper. But, hey, it was a great time. JB Smooth in the TD booth. That's Woodward Sports' MVP. It's a Friday show in the TD booth. What up, though, brother?
Long breast.
I know the gritty ties might be done.
Yeah, gritty
but
ties might be done.
The TD booth is still going.
It's still running smooth. It's still running strong over here. I'm jealous that you guys got to see all these people last night, man. I'm so upset I didn't get to go with you guys, but it looks like you all had some fun. Shout out to Braylon once again. It is an honor to actually even sit here and be able to work with you on a day-to-day basis. My guy, you deserve all of these awards. And shout out for him just mentioning Woodward Sports and bringing Woodward Sports along, too. He sees the future in all this, man.
That was beautiful. Hey, and I'm going to introduce intern Chase, and I'll tell you guys the inductees, and we can tell a little bit more about the experience as well. We got a whole show that's just Lions. So trust me, guys, we're getting into it. We're breaking it down. We're going to dedicate the appropriate time. Intern Chase, what up, though, brother? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing this morning?
Hey, you probably got what? November 1st, and then that intern title drops. So we got to get a nickname going.
Oh.
Chat, you guys can help. I'm just playing.
No.
I have some ideas.
No, genuinely happy to see the interns rise up into employees.
Yes.
Appreciate
People like you and that dude Justin have earned opportunities like this. Thank you for being in the trenches. Intern Chase was another person that was down there as well. I'm going to get your experience after I read off the list of inductees. But shout out to that dude Justin, our brother Matthew Broder, and to Jesse, who went out last night as well, to Gillies. We have a good partnership and relationship with Gillies. Shout out to Dan Gilbert and his family and such. Gillies Clubhouse is beautiful. It is beautiful. But they went there for some, post-ceremony activities, and Jesse was there to support. And it's awesome to hear them talk about the direction of Woodward Sports. It's Woodward Sports to the moon. And chat family, you guys have a great role to play in that. Continue to support us and tell more people about us. But the 67th induction class of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, Braylon Edwards, Tony Esposito, Cecil Fielder, Larry Foote, Jim Harbaugh, Ken Holland, which was awesome to just...
He was there,
Ken Holland. Jake Long, Deanna Nolan, Sean Respert, some Michigan State love for you. That's why Tom Izzo was in the building last night. Yvonne Rodriguez, affectionately known as Pudge, and the late Don Shane. And they also honored, as a Michigan treasure, the late Earl Cureton. And you guys might have known we've covered him on this show. You guys have seen interviews that I've gotten to do with him my entire time on the beat. I promise you guys, if he was not there, I don't know how I fare. I've had a lot of people in my corner, but everybody you meet that met Earl Cureton will tell you this guy was one of those guys that cared about everybody way more than himself. And as soon as I met him, it was like, yo, they understated it. Oh, yeah. So we lost a legend in him, but everything, the spirit that he carried and everything that he embodied, it lives on through his family. His daughter gave a beautiful speech last night. Pistons PR was out there. Shout out to Kevin Grigg and Mike Horan as well for helping with the occasion. And hey, you know what? Sometimes Woodward Sports guy, Matt Shepard, was doing a lot of the voiceovers last night for the feature. So it was just, like KG said, we'll find ourselves in these rooms, but last night, Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, man, it was rich. Shout out to the legend Perry Farrell, too. Journalist Perry Farrell.
Yes.
Terry Foster's mentor.
Yes. All those names, you hear it and it's humbling. And honestly, one of my takeaways, because I unfortunately was not able to attend one of the videos, I saw Braylon Edwards. You, bro. I appreciate that. I saw Braylon Edwards and then these two guys. I'm like, okay, superstars. Like Braylon was like, hey, we're here with KG and we're here with like Brandon Kool-Aid Det. And I'm like, damn. Like I wish I was you guys at that point, but I'm also happy for you guys because we're all a family here, and it's awesome how Braylon, as I've always said, has transitioned from being a childhood hero because he was such a superstar. He was a rock star at Michigan to now being a coworker and friend who I could just call on first name basis. I could even like text or call him if I wanted. I'm fanboying a little bit, but the point is that he was a great all-time Michigan player and an even better human being and a part-time hero. What can't that man do?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? They give us the opportunity to fanboy. The former athletes, and they're still athletes. I'm not. Who's going toe-to-toe with Braylon right now? Nobody. D-Mac right now. But these guys have continued to show that they're just people who care about people. I love telling the story about meeting D-Mac and meeting Braylon. I met Braylon before when we were doing cheesecakes and things of that nature out in Ann Arbor. And these guys are both like, no, I'm just Braylon Edwards. I got a mom. I got a dad. I pay bills. I'm here to help you in any ways possible. And through 4 years of Woodward Sports now, those guys have been true to that. So to see them get awards like this and be recognized like this, it's awesome. And what did they do? What did he do last night? What did all of those people do? They used the platform to talk about all those who helped them get to that point. He didn't have to mention Woodward Sports, but he did. Think about it. Think about his career.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to mention Woodward Sports
at all.
But he did, man, because of the way that he cares about us, introducing us to other Hall of Famers in that room. Like, it was an awesome time, bro. Like, that was gonna stick with me, and it's an awesome thing too, because I know we're gonna have many more of these opportunities.
Oh yes, and if I have to let me give one gripe, and I think it's fair, although I don't know how the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame works. Why is Jim Harbaugh in this class and not in like the 1993 class or something like that? And I get it. He also made part of his Michigan legacy is what he did as a head coach. Yeah. But as a player, he was a Heisman finalist. Yeah. He was a first-round draft pick, one of the only, I think, one of two in Michigan history, himself and J.J. McCarthy. So it's like, why is he? What took Jim Harbaugh so long, or him to get inducted so long? What took Braylon Edwards so long to get inducted? Why are Jim Harbaugh, Braylon Edwards, and Jake Long in the same Michigan Hall of Fame class? They all should have been in before they are now, but they're all in the 2024 class. Yeah. I don't know how it works. Maybe it's different, but they long time coming for all three of those guys.
That's the question there. And shout out to Jake Long. KG was talking about it last night.
Bro, he looks different.
But tell me it don't look like he won't step into the octagon and snap somebody in
half.
No,
that's real. That is real, man. The amount of weight that he lost, man, he looks like a whole different person now. And shout out to him, man. Still looks great, but I didn't even recognize him at first. I'm like, that's Jake Long?
No, and Jake Long, how I say that Braylon Edwards is maybe, I'm a little biased when it comes to Michigan, but I think I have a leg to stand on. Braylon Edwards, to me, is the best college wide receiver I've ever seen. Jake Long is the best college offensive lineman I've ever seen. Facts. He was the #1 overall pick, for crying out loud. That dude was special. And he deserved, I mean, like I said, all three of those guys deserve to be in. I don't know if the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame has a first ballot, but all of them should have been first ballot.
Definitely. Yeah. But you could tell just how much it meant to them that they were finally there. And shout out to Don Shane's children who accepted his plaque and ring.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace. It was awesome to hear everybody on that stage be able to talk about the way that he impacted their lives in some way, shape, or form during his professional career and who he was as a person. Like I said, that's the fabric of our Hall of Famers here in Michigan. That's what I love about it. When you look at the list of the people who've gone in before, those people that are being inducted today, tell me which one of them, KG, tell me, Chase, everything that you experienced with the swore beforehand, which one of them was standoffish? Which one of them were snooty? Which one of them didn't want to give us a hard time? At the end of the night, the stuff with Deanna Nolan, because we got video we'll play next week. Yep. All that stuff happened well at the end of the night. We're talking about the time well after Chase left, bro.
Yeah.
Like an hour after the event, she comes out of her dressing room and gives us some time. And it's just like, you know what? Thank you. And cool, too. Like, she is going to be making an appearance on the show, by the way.
Hey, shout out.
I forgot about that. Should have led with that, huh, KG?
You said what?
Let's say I think we should have led with that, huh?
Yeah, probably. Shout out Tweety, man.
Shout out to Tweety. It was a beautiful time, man. You know what? We got opening night for the Pistons on the way, too.
Like, come at you fast.
Epic. That's going to be epic.
That's going to be fun.
October 23rd.
The way, like, there's a lot of people, including our very own Spencer Raxter, who are getting more faith in the Pistons' upcoming season more as time goes along. Because he mentioned on Big D Energy yesterday, the man Spenmo Rax, who's not a slappy by any means, just bet the over for 35 wins.
He did.
Spenmo did?
Yeah,
35
we
plus.
have to have him on the show one morning to just talk Pistons. Because I know he loves it, him and Platty, but goodness, we're gonna have to talk to him about
But he's
that.
not the only one, you know?
I'm seeing optimism all over. I'm trying to be good. Like last year, 35 wins, easy for this team. Everything that I'm seeing, throw last year away. Goodness gracious, but I'm trying to be measured, trying to be metered. I want to see this team a little bit. But last night was a great feeling. Something like the best, man. Something like the best. But let me tell you about where you can get the best Lions pregame show every single home game. Right in the city, right down the street from Ford Field, right in the middle of all of the action, man. It's Detroit's very own second best bar, located at 42 Watson Street. For the ultimate fan experience, enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey, let's drive right down the legendary Woodward Avenue, and it's a great time to be on Woodward Avenue right now.
Yeah.
Good vibes. The city is great. A little bit of that fall air. People are starting to dress up in kind of their fall finest, man. And it's an awesome time being in the city. Tell me it didn't feel good being in the city last night, fellas. It felt grassy. Chase, what up, though, Chase?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I've never been to the Motor City Casino before, so that was my first time checking that out. Yeah.
Wow. Soundboard is awesome.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was a very nice place and a very awesome experience getting to be there and around all those people as well. So.
That's what's up, man. Anything else on your experience there? I know you didn't get to expand too much.
Yeah, I mean, I was just excited to see Pete, our guy, having such a good time.
Hey, let Pete
Dog, Pete was on one.
Pete in the Wild was something else, man.
Big Daddy.
Oh, that's right. I'm sure he's going to talk about it today, so we don't want to steal his thunder.
Yes.
But him and Jack Harbaugh, they became best friends last night.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
I won't spoil Pete's story, but I was one of the privileged few who got to witness that live.
I'm so mad I missed it.
An honor.
You hear my social intern talking about witnessing it live, but didn't get no content.
Oh, well.
No, I'm just
I was busy. I'm busy doing the audio.
You went overtime.
Yeah, I was busy doing audio for heavyweight.
Get it together, Chase.
Yeah,
you went overtime. I salute you.
That's actually like a reason, not an excuse. Yeah.
That's legitimate. But you know what? Somebody else who's been kind of putting in a little bit of overtime, I think you can say, is Sam Darnold. Yeah. And before this, everyone is like, you know what? Yeah, I know he's having a good start to the season, but it's still just Sam Darnold. But these Vikings are atop the NFC North. He's had the season that I thought he could have. Play clean football, get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Check down when you have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of been what it's been for him. A little bit more than what I guess people would call a game manager, and a little bit more of a quarterback that I think you have to take more serious, especially when you compound this with, and I hate having to go back and refer to this, but it matters, the loss of Aiden Hutchinson and the fact that the Lions right now, they're standing pat. So we're going to see this team up against Sam Darnold and these red-hot Vikings, and they're going to have to find a way to slow them down. And the real question is, without Aiden Hutchinson, are they able to get pressure on Sam Darnold and make him look like the quarterback that we've seen in the past rather than this season?
Not to the shock of absolutely no one, I think it's going to be a struggle.
Oh.
And
a struggle?
A struggle for the Lions to get pressure on Sam Darnold in this game, given the circumstances. Okay. I'm not saying red alert that the Lions are necessarily going to lose. Let me give you my reasons. And last night, as after the show went on, I did a little reflection because I get it. There are a lot of times where I say things that are unpopular and people don't like it. And I'm cool with that. Yesterday, I said what I thought were very reasonable things. And the chat was like 90-10 against me. That I thought all I really said was, without Aiden Hutchinson, it's going to be a struggle. However, let me frame this a little bit differently. Because I think I could have done a better job of articulating exactly what the Lions are actually up against and what they actually have and why. First off, the Vikings have two very good tackles. Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw are one of the better tackle duos in the NFL. If you want to go off of PFF, they're the only tackle duo that are two of the top 12 rated PFF tackles. And obviously, that's going to, Aiden Hutchinson not being there, that's going to be tough.
We got to be fair to that. Because trust me, I have a take, but we do got to be fair to that.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm willing to listen to anybody. Yes, and so that's going to be tough, and you already don't have Marcus Davenport. You're really going to have to rely on pressure up the middle, which I think the Lions are capable of. You'd feel a lot better if you had really anyone, because of right now, and I'm not trying to pile on these guys, but I really want to paint a picture of who your edge rushers are right now. James Houston, who 75% of the fan base doesn't even like, who a lot of the fan base is victory lapping because they thought people like myself or like a Neil Rule or like a Spencer Raxter or even yourself, Kool-Aid or KG, were a little bit too high on. They're like, we knew he was a flash in the pan. We knew he sucked. I'm getting that from a lot of people. That's one of your pass rushers. Another one of your pass rushers was a practice squad cast-off, Isaiah Thomas. Not Detroit Pistons Isaiah Thomas, not even 5'9" Boston Celtics Isaiah Thomas.
Are they at least related?
I don't think so, because even those Isaiah Thomases would never be on a practice squad anywhere. But he's one of the guys that Brad Holmes signed, and you might have to rely upon him. You've got Levi Onwuzurike, who's more of a defensive tackle who can move around, but his natural position is defensive tackle. And you've got Josh Pascal, who has a grand total of 3 sacks in 27 games. That's, to me, as of right now on paper, in terms of healthy people, amongst the worst edge rushing rooms in the entire NFL. Not among contending teams in the entire NFL. And to me, I think where me and Chase got off on the wrong foot is I think we have a little bit of a philosophical difference. I believe that you believe that the Lions' infrastructure and everything is so strong that they can withstand things, that the talent maybe on the offense and on the secondary is so strong that they can withstand things. I personally believe that you can't withstand an Aiden Hutchinson injury and do nothing. He is arguably the defensive player of the year. I look back on past Super Bowl winning teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. Would the Chiefs have won the Super Bowl last year without Chris Jones? No. Would the Rams have won the Super Bowl in 2021 without Aaron Donald? No. Would the Patriots have won the Super Bowl in 2018 without Stephon Gilmore? No. Would the Broncos have won the Super Bowl in 2015 without Von Miller? No. Would the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl in 2013 without Richard Sherman? I believe no. I know they blew out the Broncos, but they had a really close call against the 49ers. They might have
Malcolm
lost.
Smith was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
But Chase, let me finish. In 2013, I don't believe they win the NFC Championship game without Richard Sherman. He made the play. He made the play by batting the ball away from a Crabtree and did the whole "I'm the best corner in the game" thing.
They also played a whole 59 minutes before that too. That all factors into the rest of the game too.
I understand, but like Aiden Hutchinson is a big loss, and all of those teams that I mentioned, I think may have had more supplementary pieces than the Lions do right now.
None of those guys you just mentioned were the quarterback, and that's the most important person on the field.
Okay, that's fine, but do you agree that the Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl without Chris Jones last year?
I'm not going to say they're not going to win. I think, is it harder for them? Yeah, but we can't go back and just remove him from the team and then have him replay the season. Is it harder for the Lions this year? And I can talk about what I believe now.
Okay, go ahead.
I believe like this organization and this front office has proven to us as fans that they know what they're doing, and I'm willing to sit and watch a game or two before they make a decision and telling them what I think they need to do. That's what I'm willing to do.
And that's fair. And I'm not mad that they didn't make a move this week or anything like that. I'm willing to let it play out, at least until the trade deadline. My point is that I don't think there's a chance that it plays out positively. I don't think there's a chance that they win the Super Bowl if Aiden Hutchinson, if they don't replace him at least to some degree. And that's all that matters this season is a Super Bowl. Yeah. Not making the playoffs, not winning a playoff game, a Super Bowl.
I do want to give a lot more credence, though, to Dan Campbell as a coach and the words that he's saying. We trust and we get hype about a lot of things that Dan says, and when he states we got enough internally, we got some schemes. So now he's not just talking about the players on the field, but now he's also talking about the coaching. And they invested in this coaching. We went all offseason talking about, hey, they brought in Terrell Williams. Hey, they upgraded this. Hey, they got rid of this coach because they're trying to win a Super Bowl right now. And if any team, when you're talking about building for longevity, I have to believe that Brad Holmes has contingencies for if you lose a player that is of vital importance. Yeah. And I get what you're saying, Chase, to a degree. But for the exercises of today, it is about Lions-Vikings, not Lions 2 weeks from now, Lions at the trade deadline. It's what are the Lions doing today or Sunday to get a victory, to overcome the loss of Aiden Hutchinson. Shout out to Cody Ingle, who says, so do you think AG can scheme up ways to help, or are we just screwed? I think it is a combination of AG, Terrell Williams, because we saw the improvements of Aiden Hutchinson. We give him a lot of credit, but I do believe Terrell Williams helps with his technique as well as others who are having some success this season on that defensive line. But I also think you couple that with what KG was saying yesterday, the interior of the defensive line. Can it be what we knew? If Aiden Hutchinson's on the edge, that's going to help the interior. Now that you lose Aiden Hutchinson, you need your big paid men in the middle of the field to kind of take on that mindset as well. Can we be so disruptive that we help these edges and we help whatever scheme that AG is bringing to the table so that these guys can get home too? Be as disruptive, be as powerful, because I have to think, I don't know what the contract details, when it was going on, but when you're signing that contract after the Aiden Hutchinson news, I do believe that Aleem McNeil's mind goes to a completely different place. What pushes you to that next level? Sometimes it is adversity. And this is what I do believe this team is built to do. Win despite the adversity. I got a lot of faith in the interior. I got a lot of faith in the secondary. I got a lot of faith in the schemes that they can come up with.
And I hear you on that. Not to say that you're wrong. I do believe in this defense and what AG has cooking. But we keep saying it's Aiden. You know, it's Aiden, which it is. He's the most important player on this defense. But it's more than just Aiden. We've lost Marcus Davenport as well. We've lost Kyle Pecco, last week. We lost John Kaminsky before the season even started. That's two of your starters and two of your key subs. So they are down bodies right now, and you can't just get a pass rush with the front four as presently constructed. You have to come up with different ways to get pressure, whether that be blitzing linebackers or safeties, which is going to leave your secondary a little bit more vulnerable than you would like them to be, especially with how well they've played so far. And the whole deal with Terrion getting flagged so much. So not to say that they can't, but they are looking like a long-term problem in the face. So I would urge them to make a move. Of course, they can figure out things for the Minnesota Vikings game. They really have no choice. But going, forward, you're down a lot of bodies, though, and eventually that will show. Yes. Eventually that'll show.
No, going forward, yeah. That's why I'm like, let's frame it in a little bit more because I think everybody is already, we've said this all week, they got to get somebody for a Super Bowl. But we're talking about the Vikings right now. They're not the Super Bowl. They're not. They're your NFC North opponent who we said they're going to watch this season. That's what we stated. You lost Aiden Hutchinson. You got a little bit of adversity. Yeah, I know you lost some bodies. But for this game right now, I don't know. The same feeling that I got as we approached the Dallas Cowboys game is the same one I got here because I'm starting to remember and to realize who our team is and who these coaches are. And I do believe that matters for at least this one particular game where these guys have to bottle up everything and do exactly what they were saying right after the game. This is for Hutch. This is for Hutch. I do believe we have some guys that you can coach up, and I think we got the coaches to be able to do that. When you compare, and shout out Weezy D313, the interior OL from a pass rushing standpoint and our cornerbacks in coverage is 10 times better than last year.
That's a fact.
Losing Hutch is huge. But we did see this defense last year. Come up with some opportunistic stops. We saw how they played within the 20s and who they were in the red zone as well. I do believe that the Lions can still employ that type of defense. And I just continue to banter about, are they a better defense this year even without Aiden Hutchinson than they were last year, or are they just not? The secondary, I don't know. I don't know how you parse that. But I do believe that Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch are better than they were last year. 100%. I do believe that this secondary is better than it was last year. I do believe that the linebackers are better than they were last year. So that's what I'm saying. The only question that we're talking about is the defensive line, but we got an Aleem McNeil who's on like contract bump steroids right now.
That's fair. And I hope to God that I'm wrong. I hope to God that I come in next Monday and Tuesday and Chase is like, see, I told you they'd be fine. Seriously, I do. Because we'd all be celebrating a win. My thing, and maybe I got a little off topic talking about the Super Bowl, but here's how I will land the plane and relate it all. I have a lot of fears going up against the Minnesota Vikings with the pass rush as currently constructed, given what the Vikings have in terms of the tackle position. I have some worries. Like I said, Josh Paschal, when I mention him, some people get mad, but that's why I had to say this man has 3 career sacks in 27 games. Isaiah Thomas was on a practice squad. 75% of the fan base doesn't want James Houston on the team in victory laps against him constantly. And then you've got Levi O, who you'd rather have moving around, not as somebody you need as your number one pass rusher against the edge. And to me, and maybe people won't like this, but I'm looking at this logically, I do think the Lions are vulnerable without Aiden Hutchinson against the Vikings. Not saying they'll lose, but I think they're vulnerable. And I think if the Lions lose this game, you got to start worrying about, do they even make the playoffs? By the numbers. 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 Logically, I know that they're a good enough football team to do so. I'm talking about they'd be effectively 2.5 out of first. I'm talking about a Bears who are 4-2 and a Packers who are 4-2. It's not like last year where the division was, for all intents and purposes, over pretty much after week 4. I still think they would make the playoffs, but this is a big, big game, and I think the Lions are potentially vulnerable. I hope I'm wrong. I'm just not going to be a snake oil salesman.
They're not potentially vulnerable. They are vulnerable right now. And so it's like, you pay your respects to the opponent. You got to pay your respects for Aiden Hutchinson. Because as I saw in the chat, I forgot who said it, we're delusional if we believe, I don't know where it is, if you don't believe that losing Hutchinson is going to make a difference. The problem is this, though. On the flip side, okay, is AG the guy that the league is saying, is AG, because think about it, if you're a defensive coordinator worth your weight in salt, don't you have to be able to find a way to get around things like this?
Absolutely. All the good teams do.
Who is he? Because that's what I'm talking about. Who is he? You're telling me these guys are not in the lab since this thing has happened, trying to scheme up. These are the best coaches at their positions. I'm going to let that count for something. I am. I'm not saying not to be worried about what the offense can do, because we saw the offense last year with the worst quarterback of the Vikings put up numbers. And those games weren't just absolute blowouts. We didn't just dog them. Those were some battles, and we had to rely on some multiple interceptions to put it in our favor. So I do understand what you're saying. I just feel like the makeup of this team overall this year is just better than it was last year. And I do think that this year, AG still has a few more toys to play with. And some of those players we liked last year, they took some steps up.
Well, and this is where I want to relate this week to potentially a Super Bowl run, because I don't think there's anything that the Lions could or should do this week that should dissuade Brad Holmes from continuing to make the phone calls, which he is doing, and inquiring about different potential edge rusher replacements, because you can potentially beat the Vikings without Aiden Hutchinson. And I'm not even saying that the Lions are going to lose. I'm just saying that it's going to be a lot harder. But the problem is, the reason why I compared it to all of those defenses on teams that have won Super Bowls in the past or have had good teams is that like Chris Jones played. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and Von Miller played. You look at even like 2019, Shaq Barrett and Devin White and Levante David, they played. You look at 2018, Stephon Gilmore played. Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware played. They weren't out. Aiden Hutchinson is right on those guys' level in terms of potential defensive player of the year type players. You don't just lose one of those and don't replace them and ultimately reach the same goals that you had before the year. I'm not saying that Brad Holmes won't replace Aiden Hutchinson. I actually do think he'll continue to make the calls. I do think he'll get a deal done. It's just, I think they're vulnerable against the Vikings, but even if you do see a semblance of a pass rush, I don't think that should dissuade Brad Holmes from being like, we need somebody who can somewhat replace Aiden Hutchinson's production if they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They know that. I 100% agree with that. 100%. I hope nobody in here disagrees with that. I know we got to get into the next segment. But there's a position group that I've seen pop up in here a lot, and it was my position group of the summer, the linebackers. People want to see Campbell. They want to see Enzo. Obviously, Malcolm Rodriguez has been a light to start this season. These guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have to be what we thought they can be. Man, Detroit Lions versus Vikings. It got really, really interesting really, really quickly, man.
Ooh, I have to read this from Cody Ingle. So if Hutch was playing, we'd have no concerns with the Vikings tackles. He said guards. I'd have a lot less because I respect Darashaw. I respect Brian O'Neill. Yeah. None of them can hang with Aiden Hutchinson one-on-one. None of them can. There's one tackle in the league that can, and he's his teammate.
Well,
it makes a big difference.
And if they wind up giving Darnold the time that he needs, if that case happens, do the Lions have what they need? Have what they need to cover Justin Jefferson, man, and get this job done?
That's another question.
How concerned are you guys about Justin Jefferson? Chat family, let me know what you think about it as well. Maybe we get a poll up in the chat as well. What's your concern level with the Lions being able to bottle up Justin Jefferson? Hey, CeeDee Lamb went off on us last year. They had a game plan this year. Had half a game of Aiden Hutchinson. Let's see what they got. But we're going to talk about it on the other side of the break.
Absolutely. But first, I have to tell you about Dispo, which I think a lot of you in the chat are still smoking. I really have a superpower to get people to downplay Aiden Hutchinson just because I think he's important. But that's neither here nor there. How would you like free bud for a year? That's right. Free smoke, weed, reefer, flower, however you refer to your favorite cannabis product. It's your chance to win free cannabis for a year at compliments of Dispo Dispensary. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen, sign up, and you will be entered for a chance to win. Don't miss out on the insane giveaways. Sign up today to elevate your game. Dispo Dispensary, your local plug. You must be 21 or older to enter. Terms and conditions apply.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Hey, I got to tell you guys about Taller, your long drink. Now, I don't know if you've heard of long drink, that gin-based cocktail, but we've got one here made right in Michigan so you can support locally, made with all natural ingredients for an even better flavor. It's Taller, your Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company, which is shoulders above the rest. Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor for you. It's Taller, your local long drink, made here right in Michigan. So, of course, you got to support locally.
Long drink.
Absolutely. And then you can go work out at Planet Fitness. They got over 50 Metro Detroit locations. You can do pretty much all the workouts you do at the expensive gyms. The weights are all of the same. And you know what? If you're on a budget, but you want to get in a little shape so you can guilt-free enjoy some Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday festivities, get yourself a Planet Fitness membership and get yourself in shape today. A bunch of us at Woodward Sports, including myself and Neil Rule, all are. Spencer Raxter as well. Look at how he's turned around look at his step in the fitness journey. He's lost, about 50 pounds? Neil Rule used to be 337 pounds, and Planet Fitness was one of the guiding forces in him losing all of that
Without
weight.
a rock wall.
Without a rock wall. So if those two aren't testimonials, then I don't know what to tell you. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and you know what, man?
What up?
A little bit of adversity in a Super Bowl season that started with a lot of hype, a lot of kumbaya. It's one of those things that just kind of gets me moving, man. It gets me a little bit excited. This is what football feels like for fans of teams that have big time expectations, man. I'm glad we're talking about it. Before we get into Justin Jefferson, let's put a bow on this defensive line segment. What is the game plan? If you're putting on your AG, your Terrell Williams hat, at least from the defensive line standpoint, because there's other ways that the Lions defense can be helped. But just speaking about the pressures and how the defensive line attacks this good offensive line of the Vikings, put on that coach's hat, Flannel.
All right, so I think you have to use your advantages, because I do think in the interior of the trenches that I would take Aleem, DJ Reader, and Levi O up against the Vikings O-line. I think you need to get pressure from the interior. I think you should at least try with that at first and then hope that James Houston is in and regains some of his form, and that Josh Paschal regains some of his form that he showed last week. He actually played pretty well to end the game. Mm-hmm. I think that's the way to go about it. What concerns me, though, is I hear people say, you might have to send more blitzes. Well, who was your best blitzing safety last year? Ife Melifonwu, who's also hurt. So I think, honestly, I don't mean to be a simpleton. I think you just need Aleem, DJ Reader, and Levi O to really, I don't want to say carry, but all play very, very well on the same day, which they're capable of doing. They're all good players.
Those $20 million men.
Absolutely. Aleem McNeil just got paid.
There now.
He just got paid.
$24.5 million.
I mean, DJ Reader was probably, you could argue, our prized free agent signing this year. Yeah. Levi O is somebody who, when Hutchs was in there, you saw some games where he was getting, sharing a sack with them in the Tampa Bay game, where he was getting pressures as well. So you're going to need those. I think that's the key. Levi O, Aleem McNeil, and DJ Reader.
Hey, and you know what? I got to get this game plan from UKG, because I know that there's valid concerns, and that's why I'm glad we talk about these things. You have to, with an unbiased look. For me, I just want to say, go out there and just beat them in the face, and that's the game plan. We're going to just win. But we got to break it down a little bit more than that. I'm just... you know what? It could have been with Aiden Hutchinson. We were beating people in the face defensively, and all the numbers showed that. But now, hey, put on that coach's hat. You've coached this thing before, man. Put on that coach's hat. Talk to me about the game plan, the winning game plan for this defensive line.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I think they have an advantage in this game because it looks like Aaron Jones is trending not to play. So if you don't have Aaron Jones to worry about, which this run defense is very, very stout, especially in the middle, wasn't necessarily worried about it. But if he doesn't play, that's going to put Sam Darnold and this Vikings offense at a severe disadvantage. They're going to be one-dimensional. So you got to take some chances in this game. You have to generate pressure any way you can. So I'm looking for this defense to blitz more. I'm looking for them to take some risk. I'm not mad if, they got to be one-on-one coverage with Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison. Your secondary is better this year, so you just have to rely on them to make plays. But generate pressure any way you can get it, because your front four, like I said, is presently constructed.
Levels, right?
Yeah. Any way you can get it, whether it's the linebackers or safeties, because your front four, as constructed right now, probably can't just get pressure on their own. You're gonna have to give them some help.
Hey, is that a wrap on the defensive line? And I see Mike Bell run the ball. Listen, we're gonna get to the other ways that these other position groups can help the defense. We wanted to be able to specifically point out probably the biggest elephant in the room: how you replacing Aiden Hutchins. You don't replace him, and it's going to be a collective effort, like Dan Campbell said. But then you got another giant on the other side to worry about. Now you got to figure out, how are you defending or slowing Justin Jefferson? I'm not saying stopping. That's not happening.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Justin Jefferson, we know the numbers that he put up on the Detroit Lions last year. I don't believe that's going to happen this time either. But I see your face over the funnel. We got to talk about it, man. Are you concerned? Or where's that concern level with the Lions defending Justin Jefferson?
High.
Ooh. Yeah.
He's Justin bleeping Jefferson.
Yeah.
And for people who get mad at that, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. If I only had a brain. I chose violets today. I see you all in the chat.
You did yesterday too.
I see you all in chat. But no, for real. I understand the argument that people make that Justin Jefferson, for lack of a better term, he effed on us last year. As an individual player, he put up last season in 2 games against the Lions,
yards,
18 catches for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns.
300.
Silly.
In 2 games.
Silly.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say.
In 2 games. But the Lions did lose both games. And I hear that often in the chat. I see that even from Cody Ingle, that in the games, at least in the last couple of years, that Justin Jefferson really went off. The Vikings didn't win any of them. But I have to caution you on one thing. Who was the Vikings quarterback last year? Nick Mullins.
All right, I was going
to say which one.
Right. Nick Mullins threw it to our guys as much as he threw it to Justin Jefferson, to the tune of 6 in 2 games. So I have at least Sam Darnold, however you want to think about him, at least he's a starting quarterback. Nick Mullins is a scrub. Sam Darnold, at best, is a mid-tier starting quarterback. At worst, is a low-tier starting quarterback. And when he's insulated like he's been this year, he can be effective. I understand that our secondary is better. I mean, obviously, we would take Terrion Arnold and Carlton Davis up against the Jerry Jacobs and the Vildors and the Cam Suttons.
Amik
Robertson, too, as well. Absolutely. But one thing that concerns me, I keep seeing Carlton Davis on the injury report.
Yeah, we forgot he got cleated in the motherfucking head right after the Hutch injury. Like literally a play or two after the Hutch injury.
I don't like that because, oh boy.
Randall Smalls. I know you just saw it, right?
I didn't see it. Oh boy. What did he say?
$5 super chat. Chicken Little Sam. OMG. That's in all caps. The sky is falling. Take a chill, bud.
No. The sky is not falling, but I've literally broke your guys' brains so much that I hear people saying, was Hutch really that good, or was he a product of Aleem getting pressured up the middle? Was he a product of the secondary? I've seen it in the chat. Shut up. Shut up. But about Justin Jefferson, I understand that the Lions secondary is better. I understand that Justin Jefferson, in theory, can go off and the Lions can still win because I trust the Lions offense. And I think there's some other pieces that the Vikings could potentially be missing that could hurt them, and more on that later. But I think Justin Jefferson, I think he has a game just like he did last year, especially if Carlton Davis is out and you're switching rookie Terrion Arnold and Amik having to try to guard him, potentially one-on-one if you can't get pressure and you have to blitz. Neither Terrion or Amik are going to win that matchup. I think it's all about letting Justin Jefferson get his, and hopefully the run game doesn't go off. Hopefully you can pressure Sam Darnold and sack him a couple of times. Hopefully he throws a ball or two to the Lions. I think that's what you're going to have to rely on, because you can talk about how, they limited Mike Evans. They limited DK to some, well, not really DK, but CeeDee Lamb to some extent. That's what I was looking for. CeeDee to some extent. But Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football. He's one of the best receivers I've ever seen with my own eyes. He is special, and he will F on the Lions. Just Hopefully others don't.
Yep. And you know what? That is the game plan. That's the game plan. It's similar to what the 2004 Pistons employed when trying to defend Shaq. Ben Wallace, we know that you're going to be able to do the most effective job to at least make him work for his 35 points, and then everybody else stay home. Nobody else on this squad is going to beat us. If it's going to be the Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson show that beats us, then they earned it at that point in time. So I agree with a lot of that premise. And what I'm hoping, though, is from a physicality standpoint, when you talk about making up for Aiden Hutchinson, you can't make up for his production. But when you have an opportunity to do some of the things that he did bring to the plate, have we seen one of our defensive line guys as like inherent on, you know what, I might not get the sack, but you're going to get a hit. Like, he has whole highlight reels. Mm-hmm. Remember the playoff game against Matthew Stafford? The highlight reel is the fact that he put him on his backside, whether it was a sack or not. And those things, they take effect throughout the entire game. I want to see them continue to have that physicality. So whoever's out there, I don't care if you have to take a couple flags, let Justin Jefferson know it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a game out there. That's what I'm looking for from this team, is that they're out there like rabid dogs. That's the only way you're going to have an opportunity, because Aiden Hutchinson was looking like flannel in KG. I look at the situation, I'm like, yo, he was looking like the best player in the NFL, and I always temper it down to top 5. But I do believe they're coming out with that aggressiveness, bumping, shoving, jawing, doing the things that we see them do when they're playing well. I do believe that gives them a great advantage in this game. Yeah. I like our dogs better than their dogs.
Yes. All-encompassing, yes. All-encompassing. I agree with you on that. There are ways, and more on that later, to where the Lions can have trouble getting a pass rush, let Justin Jefferson go off, and still win. That's what they did last year. Mm-hmm. It's about the secondary playing well. It's about getting some timely pressures and maybe some sacks. And it was another important thing you said, opportunistic takeaways. Yes. And I know we're going to talk about that secondary a little bit later in the show, because I do believe that that gives AG an opportunity to every now and then confuse the offense of the Vikings, try and trick Sam Darnold. I don't believe that Sam Darnold is the smartest quarterback on that field. Find a way, AG, to go out there and get your ball hawks some opportunities. Mm-hmm. And remember, Brian Branch set up Dak Prescott for that interception. You know what I mean? I know it's the schemes and everything, but he took them 1-2 steps towards and then had the speed. It's funny, the combine stuff that Brad Holmes talks about, right? Yeah. He wasn't the fastest, didn't have the longest arms. He wasn't the tallest. Didn't really matter on the field against the Cowboys. That's what I'm hoping to see out of this secondary. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about them, but as it relates to trying to stop Justin Jefferson or slow him, I'm hoping that we see a little bit of that from across the field. So we'll see, and that's the thing. I know that this is maybe a simplistic way of looking at it, but maybe you gotta key in and make sure Jordan Addison doesn't wreck the game as well. Yeah. And like you said, KG, if Aaron Jones doesn't play and Ty Chandler is the starting running back, we're gonna F on their running game just like Justin Jefferson is gonna F on us. Yeah. And I honestly think that those two things counteracted would potentially swing the game to a Lions victory, because you've seen how they are. The only real running back that they've really let go off in the last year plus is Christian McCaffrey in the NFC Championship and Kenneth Walker this year,
who really got it in the second half. That's fair. Just being real.
Yeah, so. And Kenneth Walker, he put on that cape. I'll just say that. He was spectacular in that game. So it's just, I never want to downplay Justin Jefferson, because when we talk about athletes that we've watched as Lions fans, Justin Jefferson is one of those where you're like, dude, this guy's special. Some of us older Lions fans probably felt that way about like a Randy Moss or like Aaron Rodgers circa 2010 to 2014. Or for the Bears, it was like Brian Urlacher. To me, Justin Jefferson. No, but he's like great.
No, for sure. But I couldn't stand his ball head ass.
Justin Jefferson is in the same room as those guys. And honestly, if anybody's going to break Jerry Rice's records, it's going to be him if he has longevity. Because if you've seen, I'll say this about Justin Jefferson, because I know people think that I'm glazing him, but you got to show respect to the best in the game. Justin Jefferson in his first 4 seasons had more than 500 more receiving yards than Randy Moss did in his first 4 seasons, and Justin Jefferson actually played 3 less games. The dude is special, and
he's humble.
Yes, man. He is humble.
He's just so humble.
That's the thing. There was this narrative that he was like a diva, but I'll tell you what.
Humble, likable. You don't really hear anything bad. The way that he supported Sam Darnold earlier was what got me thinking, like, why would he just put the cape on? Like, I know you're going to say some stuff, but he was in one interview where he was just like, no, like, I'm for real. Like, he's a baller. And now you see them. Yeah, think about it, man, because we remember how he looked at the end of last season playing against the Lions. He don't look like that this year. He didn't look like that through training camp. He looked like, you know what, this is a better situation. So it's like, you know, if he's comfortable, that's not what we want. I don't want Justin Jefferson comfortable. You can't stop him, but that's what I'm hoping is a part of or injected into the game plan. It's a part of that bad boys mentality. And I know it's part of AG's as well. Kelvin Shepard, KG. You know what I mean? It's like, let them just be disruptive. Make sure that they know you're there on the field. Don't get trucked. Don't get ran over. When you got an opportunity to make a tackle, make a tackle. Control what you can control, because you don't control a lot of what Justin Jefferson is going to do. But you got other areas in this game to make your imprint felt. So
But also don't just be one-dimensional and thinking that just shutting down Justin Jefferson is going to eliminate this Vikings offense as well too. I know Jetta is, as Flannel said, Jerry Rice-esque, but you also have another receiver out there in Jordan Addison as well, who could do the potential same thing as Justin Jefferson as well. You've seen what he did when Jefferson was out last season. He put up the same production numbers, as Justin Jefferson in games sometimes. But at the same time, you can't be one-dimensional and focus all your attention on Justin Jefferson, because they still have Jordan Addison out there as well too. Get pressure on Sam Darnold as much as you can. I'm not looking for sacks in this game, honestly. Just pressure. Get him confused to where he can sit here and make mistakes. Because remember, this is still Sam Darnold. This is not Kirk Cousins.
That's where the schemes are going to really, really, really matter.
Let me ask you a quick question, JB. Would you be looking for sacks if Aiden Hutchinson was playing?
At least 2.
Weird. Weird. Weird, chat.
How many sacks do we think this defensive line is going to turn out, or just the defense in general?
This week?
Yeah,
1.
Oh, how many turnovers?
1.
Oh man, I don't know if that's.
I think that could be enough. Like, especially what if Sam Darnold throws one to Kirby Joseph in the end zone again? I mean, imagine how backbreaking that could be. I mean, imagine, and this is just hypothetically. Imagine if it gets taken back for 6. 1 turnover, especially if Jared Goff plays clean, that's a big deal.
We're going to talk about the offense. We're going to talk about that guy, Jared Goff. We got to talk a little bit about the Vikings' second-ranked rush defense in the NFL going up against Sonic and Knuckles, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sonic and Knuckles.
I love that name.
I love that. Nickname. I love it. It's cool when they give themselves a nickname, because you already know they already been talking about that already. I don't think that was just off the cuff. Especially when you see some of the videos of them on the bench just talking. That Chargers game comes to mind where Jahmyr Gibbs broke off that long run, and David Montgomery was like, hey, man, I'm happy for you, but you can't be the only one having all the fun. I'm about to go out there, too. It was a cool moment to see it in the next carry, 70 yards to the house.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? We're going to talk about that offense. They got something to say about this game, too.
Yes. And for the record, 1-1 is just an opinion. I'm not stating it like I'm stating the gospel. But hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Bade, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, to all your local long drinks, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then you turn into the pregame show, brought to you by Neil Rule and Sean Belichin, 2 very trustworthy looking men about to give you all of the best Lions game day coverage. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belichin bring you the best Lions pregame show.
Michigan's gonna be Illinois.
I don't know about that.
Hope so. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. Live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day. On Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, to all your local long drinks, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
I love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Hey, and you know what? Walk in any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special. Scalp massage for you nasties out there. Hot lather neck shave and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Hey, listen, take advantage. Take advantage of our $20. Take advantage. Shout out to Sam.
Taking advantage
of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code somewhere on the screen. Y'all might find it before I do. If you do, scan it for your coupon code today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Hey, it's wicked awesome. We are back. What up, though, people? It is Wake Up Woodward. And you know what, chat family? You guys are on one. Let's try and zoom through the light goals. We're talking Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm feeling optimistic and confident, but I need you guys to be just as confident when you're, satisfying that light button. Treating it right and treating it nice. You know what I'm saying?
It's that time?
Hey, it's that time, brother. Hey,
it's Friday, man. I do got a job and shit to do, but we can always take time to satisfy that like button, man. So go ahead, lay it down real slow, real nice and slow, and go ahead and hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, satisfy.
No, I didn't lick the microphone at all.
Shout out to Tweety Bird too, man.
Oh, yeah. Microphone pregnant over there. What you doing, man?
Good times, man. Good times.
Microphone
good times in media, man.
Shout out to the shot.
Right.
Bring him back home. Obviously,
bring the shot back.
She confirmed that the rumors are more than rumors, but we don't know what
they're true. They're close.
She says she hears some things.
Mm-hmm.
She's not in the middle of everything, but she hears things, and she would love to be involved. If they do come back, that would be epic.
No,
that would
big
be
facts.
so cool.
Okay,
why not us?
Back to the more stressful conversations, right? Or actually, in this case, I'm not too concerned about it, right? So look, the stats would tell you that the Vikings have the second-ranked rush defense in the NFL, and that the Lions have the third-ranked rush defense in the NFL. Will the Lions get the better of the Vikings on the ground this Sunday?
Yes, 100%, because the Vikings have not faced a running back duo and an offensive line like David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Say that one more time.
The Vikings have not faced a running back duo and an offensive line quite like David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offensive line, because that type of running back duo and offensive line doesn't exist anywhere but Detroit.
It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code.
It is a cheat code. And for the record, you know that I've got respect and a healthy mindfulness of the Minnesota Vikings. Some people are mad at me for that, but I can't help it. But when it comes to the Vikings' run defense, it's been very good. But there have been a lot of advantageous scenarios to where I don't think they're going to show up in the Lions game. Let me give you some examples. In the win against the Giants, the Vikings had a double-digit halftime lead, and they won by 20. And yes, part of having a good run defense is making a team not being able to run because you get so far ahead of them. But my point is that the Giants threw 42 times, and they ran 21 times. When the 49ers played the Vikings, Jordan Mason did run for 100 yards. Because if you have a rushing offense that is good, like how many running backs, including Jordan Mason, including Christian McCaffrey, who was a star, and including guys like Elijah Mitchell and the like, they look good in a 49ers rushing offense, which is kind of like the Lions rushing offense, which is, I think, going to have no problem. In the third game, the Vikings had a double-digit halftime lead, and they won by 20+. Mm-hmm. The Texans threw the ball 44 times. They ran it 14 times. In the Packers game, the Vikings had a 20-point lead. The Packers had to keep throwing so that they could come back, and they almost did, but they didn't. In that game, the Packers threw the ball 54 times. They ran it 19 times. And in the Jets game, the Vikings had a 10-point halftime lead, and the Vikings actually did a really good job of stopping Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. But in that game, the Jets threw it 54 times and ran it 14 times.
And they almost choked that one off.
That's 40 more passes than rushes in that game. My point isn't to downplay the Vikings' run defense like it's not good. My point is that I do think the Lions will get a lead or two. It wouldn't shock me at all because their offense looks unstoppable right now. And that Ben Johnson understands, because it kind of bit him in the rear end against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that no matter what happens, even if, let's just say, the Vikings score first, the Lions have to stay committed to the run. And I believe that they will. I don't think they will have double-digit deficits. And I think that the rush-to-pass ratio will be a lot different than some of those other teams that the Vikings face.
And I see people in the chat, Vikings D is very good, blah, 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 blah. Listen, man, we talk about the Winfield, Jahmyr Gibbs just throwing them to. Like, bro could have just stepped into the end zone, but he said, no, I'm going to make sure that I give you a little bit of hospitality because you're in my house right now and threw him through. What was another one of them plays, though, from last year that everybody went bananas about? It's one of our top videos on socials right now, and it was Jahmyr Gibbs through the elite offensive line, through this good defensive line and linebackers and secondary. You remember the play? Straight through the middle, lean to the right, shift to the left, and my man's jockstrap was up in the rafters somewhere. Like, we have the ability to kind of cheat code this game a little bit, especially, and then we're going to talk about Jared Goff, who's going to, in my opinion, be the most important player on the field for the Detroit Lions, no matter the unit. But I do believe that Ben Johnson, who got me stupendously bricked up, and I'm not saying pause, not at all, man. Hey, set up the Krispy Kreme factory for one Ben Johnson, who's like, I do not care about what I put on tape. Last year it seemed like they did, like previously, but this year I'm like, yo, they're emptying the clip and doing things. And what did he say? I don't care. Like, what do you think this is over here? Like, we're just here to run this thing to have a cute game, and they'd be like, well, now we got to sit on our hands. We're not the 49ers, where we know that, oh, wow, Ben Johnson schemed this up. Now we can go do it, and we see other offenses doing what he does. He's ahead of the curve. And you're talking about an offense with the weapons like J-Mo. Think about the top and the bottom of this thing. J-Mo up top, the running backs in the backfield. The Vikings D, I don't care how good you are, you got your hands full with this Lions offense, man, especially when you start with Sonic and Knuckles. And now we're going to talk about Jared Goff and Ben Johnson, the mastermind.
Absolutely. And I got to get this in. This is from Brandon Katz. The reasons teams didn't run more against Minnesota is they weren't having success running. Sam's take is dumb. To some extent, that's true. However, I talked about multiple cases where the Vikings were ahead by 20 in the game, won by 20, had double-digit halftime leads. At that point, a lot of teams, even if they're having success running, will abandon the run. Okay. It's just how it is, because when you're down by that much, you need quick drives. And when you run the ball, most of the time you're not going to pop one. It's going to be steady if you're going to have success. It's going to be 4 yards, 5 yards, but those drives take a lot of time. So just clarifying on that one. And to further what you said, Kool-Aid, one thing my archist frenemy, Neil Rule, always says, but this is where I agree with him. Yes, the Vikings have a good run defense. Yes, I believe it's a little inflated as well. But the Lions are going to run the football no matter what.
Yes.
There's not a defense on earth that can stop the Lions' run game when they are humming, when they're healthy, when Ben Johnson is scheming up
You
some...
can just stop it.
Yes.
There's not anyone who can stop them. And even if you slow them in the front, it's like that meme where the train is just like, it's the tunnel. And it's like, okay, it's going to break through eventually. That is what I see with this Detroit Lions run game and that offensive line. They're going to wear your team down. They're not going to be stopped.
They have not...
You can't stop these... Bro, like this... I get what people want to say, and I want to be, a little less Kool-Aid when we try and give these types of takes. But this is the best running back duo in the NFL, and they're doing things historically that we have not seen from a running back duo ever. I'm not understating that at all. Just as big as Aiden Hutchinson is on the defense, our offensive line, those running backs, this quarterback, you're not getting much better than that.
I mean, here's the reality. That sounds like a bold statement, but as of right now, I believe Gibbs and Montgomery are both on pace for 1,000 yards. If one of them isn't, they're really close to the pace, but I think they're both on pace for 1,000 yards. And like I said before, there are some things that, you can maybe get Jared Goff to have a subpar game, which he had a couple of those at the beginning of the year. You can shut down Sam Laporta, render him relatively ineffective. Hey, you even did it a couple of times once with Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. But that run game, every single game this season, the Lions have ran the ball effectively. The only time where there was any question was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game because we think they abandoned it too early.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
They've ran the ball effectively every single game. And I don't care who your defense is. It could be...
And they left plays on the field.
I mean,
Goff didn't play clean.
And it's funny because I'm referencing something I referenced yesterday. Do I think the Lions would beat the 2000 Ravens or the 1985 Bears defenses in a hypothetical world? Not necessarily,
Absolutely.
but I think they would. But I think they would run the ball. No matter who you got, they would run the ball because I really think at the end of the year you might be looking at this rushing offense as historic.
And hey, Herb Nash says JMO season. When you're talking about running the ball, you're able to set up the deep pass to Jamison Williams, and we already know what he's doing. We already understand the yards per catch. We already see. I saw Baldy. Shout out to Brian Baldinger who broke down what he's calling. He's calling JMO the Comet, which absolutely when you see this thing broken down, I still want to see JMO get more crisp with his route running and like off the break, off the line, but he's so fast and so shifty that it still doesn't matter. He's making one in and out, one double move, and it doesn't matter who's defending him. He's open down the field. And you're talking about if the Vikings defense is having to account for the fact that the Lions got Sam Laporta, Brock Wright on the line, you got, Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery back there, what are you doing? Because if you try and stop that run or you try and stop the intermediate pass, Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, then we've seen what JMO can do.
This offense is cooking on all cylinders. I mean, you even saw last week. And I'm not saying they're going to be able to duplicate exactly this against a relatively healthy Vikings defense versus what they face in a pretty depleted Cowboys defense. But everybody ate, whether it was Montgomery, whether it was Gibbs, whether it was Tim Patrick, who we haven't even gotten to yet, whether it was Amon-Ra, whether it was JMO, whether it was Laporta. Everybody ate. Khalif Raymond even ate. He had more than double his season receiving yards in one game last week. So it really is, like when you really get it going, which the Lions did last week, you really can keep everybody happy.
Yep.
Even though it seems impossible, they just did it. Do I think everybody will get those numbers against the Vikings this week? Not necessarily, but I think the Lions offense could have themselves a day because I think they'll have to if they're going to win, but it's very well within the realm of possibility, especially if a certain player who's questionable gets downgraded to out. More on that later.
Right. So listen, before we move on to Jared Goff, I need you guys to tell me real quickly, this offensive line, this running back duo for the Detroit Lions, obviously we believe they're going to have some success, but tell me, how's it going down for the Lions versus the Vikings? And JBKG, get ready. What up, though, Flannel?
Oh, yes. How's it going to go down?
Yeah.
I think that, I don't want to be too bold, but I do think that the Lions get at least $150 on the ground. I really do.
Let's go, KG. You looked up quick. What up, though?
Nah, I don't think that's too outside of the realm of possibility. Collectively, I mean, but
they've been doing 70 and 70.
Exactly. No, I'm right in line with Sam. I think it's around $150, maybe $175 if it's a good day.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys too. 150, and I'm looking at least 2 touchdowns, one apiece from each one.
Well, if they
the
get
same play over and over again. David Montgomery runs right through a motherfucker.
That's
a play.
Your shit, Jay Bizzle.
That is a shirt, bro. Oh, Barking.
That's a play.
Confirmed.
One more time, bro. What's the game plan?
There is one play and one play only. Run right through a motherfucker.
I'm fired up.
The way you
fired up.
The way
boy,
he
let's
said
go.
motherfucker was strong. Like,
Bro,
shit was like Sam Jackson level.
It's like-
Right.
He's somewhere like, that dude got talent. That's JV Smooth, boy. That's why he is Woodward Sports MVP. Chat family. Hey, tell me, give me your running back predictions. The Lions, we already know, gonna have success, so I'm not asking you that. I'm just telling you, I'm just asking, what does that success look like? And we got to get to Jared Goff. I believe, and people say Aaron Glenn statement game. You know what? We've seen Aaron Glenn go out there and have his statements, and he has to still have a game. But I believe that this is actually a Jared Goff statement game. We've seen some of the good quarterbacks in the NFC. I remember there were times when the Vikings would come here and be like, Jared Allen is out. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to have a time. But no, their quarterbacks stepped up. There were times when we saw Aaron Rodgers and even Brett Favre before be the difference maker for their teams. And we've seen Jared Goff be a difference maker for this team, too. We've seen him air it out. We've seen him play it safe. We've seen him make mistakes. We've seen him play clean. And I do believe, though, this is one of those games where we're going to get Super Goff. I really do. I really do.
More on that in a second, but tell us about Caesars, JB.
Oh, I got you. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor, scan the QR code on screen. Use code Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000. All you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, you know what? They put it right back into your account. No questions asked.
No.
None. I'm telling you right now. Scan the QR code on screen. Use code Woodward1000. It's Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Make some money this weekend. And while you're making some money, drink some Sabbath coffee as well.
Fuel your Detroit sports fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or just savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered. Like the Detroit Lions are going to have the Minnesota Vikings. Locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com and choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance, they're going to protect you, man. They're going to make sure that your current carrier is not slipping in anything extra, including no fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Bad boys.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It's Wake Up Woodward. You know what, man? I know we start off the show trying to figure out some things, trying to hurdle over some adversity. But that last segment got me, I'm so serious, fired up, especially JB Smooth, man. Just run through an MFer, bro. We've seen it work. We've seen it work. The first overtime game of the year, they said, okay, it's night time. And what they do, they just say, hey, Demo, just go win the game. That's Knuckles, obviously. But hey, shout out to Burn, $5 super chat. Watch the Lions just run the ball 50 times and give the Minnesota faithful PTSD of the past 123 years.
I'm not mad at all.
Mike G, Kool-Aid, I would buy a Sonic and Knuckles, pause, WSN merch tee if y'all made one.
Oh, hey, ideas.
Chuckle Cheese, what about putting Sewell at defensive end? LOL.
Penei Sewell is the Terminator, the Hulk, everything you want out of a human football player, but if you do that, he's gonna get hurt eventually. That is too much, even for Penei Sewell.
Yeah, but we gotta talk about the man who got paid. We talk about a lot of people who got paid. Jared Goff got paid. And people are saying, you know what, it's time to show why you got paid. And Terrell Lamar, Goff gotta show them why you got paid in this game. Well, I want to see him do it in every single game.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's this. The Vikings are the next man up. Cody Ingle. Goff has cooked Flores in the past. Jared Goff. And I got to ask you guys this question as well, as it relates to the Minnesota Vikings, because they're 5-0. They've had some good success against some decent offenses. But have they faced an offense better than the Detroit Lions offense?
No.
To this point?
No, I don't think so.
Not even the Texans?
No, because, I mean, the Texans, don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing that win out by any means. That was a good win. I've said that in the past. That was a very good win by them. But that Texans offense, yes, they did go blow for blow, but it was only week 2, and the Texans offense wasn't running at peak efficiency. If you look at the Green Bay game, that was Jordan Love's first game back, if I'm not mistaken, and they got absolutely trashed in the first half. Jordan Love came out slow, inefficient.
I'm glad you're adding the context to these things, because most people, they will look and just say, well, this team beat that team.
Exactly.
But there's a little bit more context to the narrative.
Yeah, looking at the whole game stats, it looks great. But Jordan Love and that Packers offense were not in sync. That was his first game back. He was super inefficient in that first half. Now, in the second half, they put on a show, but ultimately couldn't do enough to get the job done. And then, I mean, the Jets offense is a good offense on paper, but we just haven't seen them reach that level, man. And you know, they pretty much stopped them in London. You know, you gotta count the London games for something, because most teams don't play well in London. So I don't think they faced the offense with this type of firepower, and that's running at this efficiency that they're at right now.
No, KG, you're absolutely right. You forgot one team, the 49ers. But
but they had injuries.
I'll give some context to that as well, because you talked about the Texans. You talked about how they weren't running at peak efficiency. I mean, how could they? Joe Mixon was out.
Yep.
I had forgotten that, but I just looked at it right now. It's like, yeah, Joe Mixon was out. That is going to make it a little bit easier for the Texans to stop. Now, granted, of course, they had Diggs and Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz, so I'm not downplaying these wins. I'm just comparing them to what the Vikings are going to face with the Lions. In the 49ers game, yes, you had Debo, yes, you had Ayuk, yes, you had Kittle, but don't get it twisted. The MVP of the San Francisco 49ers offense has been Christian McCaffrey since he stepped foot in San Francisco, and he wasn't there, and he hasn't played all year, which that could bode well for the Lions later on, but that's another story for another day. But the Lions offense, Penei's playing, Decker's playing, Ragnow's playing, Zeitler's playing, Glasgow's playing, Montgomery's playing, Gibbs is playing, Amon-Ra's playing, Jamo's playing, Laporta's playing, Tim Patrick is playing. Their offense is not only Goff is playing. It's not just that the Lions offense is great, which it is. It's the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL. It has just hit their stride, and they're very incredibly healthy as well.
Oh my gosh.
Full compliment.
Oh my gosh.
And the Niners and the Texans were not. Not downplaying those Vikings wins. I got a lot of respect for what the Vikings have done, but this Lions offense is a greater challenge than a somewhat depleted Texans and somewhat depleted 49ers offense was.
I think we're getting at Jared Goff from the podcast earlier this season, before the contract, but when he knew it was happening, and we started to realize he's going to be here for a long time. I think we're getting that Jared Goff against the Vikings. All the noise that you hear, it's not a lot of it, but there's still some noise. The chips on the shoulders, the fact that you still have things to prove. Jared Goff wants to win a Super Bowl for Detroit. And I know that in a game like this, where a lot of the fans are chanting his name all over the place all last year, all through the offseason, and the beginning this year, now all of a sudden, I do believe this is a game where they will be cheering his name again because Jared Goff is just going to be that dude. That guy that when we went into the playoffs, we were wondering, yeah, we want them to beat the Rams, but are they going to do it? There was a lot of people who, even if you had your optimism, you knew what you felt in your heart. Yeah. And there was some nerves. And Jared Goff was absolute steel and absolute money. I don't know how many times I've seen our team go out there and ice away the game with like a minute and a half on the clock because you're throwing passes. And that was Jared Goff at the helm. I do believe that we need that type of Jared Goff who we saw in those first 2 games and a half of the playoffs. I do believe that that's the Jared Goff that's showing up.
We'll see. I'm confident that Jared Goff will play well. And I already said that the Lions running game is going for $150, so that'll certainly help things. I think when it comes to the whole Brian Flores defense discussion, I had to do a little bit of digging just to be fair, because I'm looking at the defense last year. I'm looking at the pass rush. The Vikings had Danielle Hunter, who's no longer there, and they had DJ Wanham for part of the Lions game, but he was out for the later one. I actually think when you combine Van Ginkel and Grenard, their pass rush is better this year. And then you add on a Pat Jones, who went from 1 sack last year to 5. That's big. So I think the Vikings pass rush is better this year. But Pat Jones, that was the guy I mentioned. He's questionable. If he doesn't play, that could be a problem for the Vikings. Another guy who they acquired that is doubtful, Blake Cashman. Huge loss potentially. I mean, actually, it's not potentially. He's doubtful for the Vikings. That could help sway some things when it comes to, I think, the run game, when it comes to even maybe swing passes out of the backfield if they decide to use Gibbs more in the passing game. And when it comes to defensive backs, the Vikings had good safeties last year, and they've continued to be good safeties this year. But I do think they've upgraded at the cornerback position. Instead of playing young guys like a Caleb Evans and Mekhi Blackman, they've upgraded to a solid veteran in Shaquille Griffin and a former Defensive Player of the Year who's not quite what he was, but is still very good in Stephon Gilmore. I'm not saying this to say that Jared Goff won't have success. I just want to caution people about what improvements the Vikings defense made, because they are better. Do I think they're going to stop Jared Goff? No, I already don't think they're stopping the run game. Yeah. I could see what I think Jared Goff is going to do personally. I think he doesn't play as well as he did the previous couple of weeks. I think he throws for maybe like low to mid 200s, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
I was thinking about 250 to 275, but clean football and a command on the game. That's one of those ones that as you get down to the end of the game, like we saw against the Rams in the playoffs and like we saw against the Bucs in the playoffs, that he's just making the right plays. And he's playing clean football and giving his team more than an opportunity to win this game. Terrell Lamar, Goff needs to go crazy simply because people don't respect his gangster. And I see you in the chat, Terrell from FL. He says Kool-Aid is officially in Slappy Lane. Listen, bro, we're going to get those phone lines up and running soon so we can have these conversations. I'm not necessarily in Slappy Lane. Goff, like we talked about with Brad Holmes, has given us enough to say, you know what, in some big moments and in some big games, Goff has showed up. Who thought that they were going to go out there and win an air raid against the Chargers that way? There was a lot of people, I remember before that game, was questioning and wondering, man, can we really keep up with their offense? I remember the narratives. And then Goff went out there and said, what y'all talking about, huh? Hey, look, there's only one narrative that we're waiting for Goff to really beat, and that's this kind of cold outdoor weather narrative, which is going to play some type of role as you get down to the end of the season. But Jared Goff has been a good quarterback. Sure. Jared Goff has put together historic stretches of clean football. Jared Goff has taken this franchise to heights we could only dream about, and I do believe he's going to take them further. We're not talking about the playoffs, again. We're not talking about the Super Bowl matchup. We're talking about the Vikings. And though I tip my cap and give him some respect, I'm sorry, Jared Goff, to Terrell FL's point, he's a gangster. You got to respect that. Gotta respect it.
Oh, and he's on an absolute heater right now.
Yeah.
Absolute heater. And he's pretty much carved up because Brian Flores' defense is blitz happy, as I'm seeing in the chat. And when you have an offensive line that can pick up those blitzes and give Jared Goff just a little bit more time, you see what that does to the back end of a defense. And Jared Goff, especially when it comes to this offense, which Ben Johnson schemes up perfectly, which is based on a lot of timing when it comes to Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Laportas and even some deep balls to J-Mo. It's just, Jared Goff has eaten and he's picked this defense apart. I'm a little bit more, this Vikings defense has better personnel. Not good enough, I think, to hold the Lions to like 17 points. I'm not crazy. It's just, it's not quite the same. And the Vikings defense is, well, I guess now, I was about to say they're pretty healthy, but, you know, if Pat Jones and Blake Cashman are out, that's actually not very healthy.
And I just feel like Ben Johnson is going to get just even more silly, bro. I
see.
really do. But just really quickly, before we get into these final game predictions, because Jay Cruzen said, so Doomsday this Sunday at 1 p.m. confirmed. We'll get into those in the next segment. Just really quick from our booth. What do you guys believe that Jared Goff is going to do? Flannel and I gave our predictions. Well, mid-200s. I think clean football. He thinks maybe one turnover, but largely a guy in control of the game.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
What about you, KG?
If they blitz a lot, they are going to get burned. Because like Sam said, this offensive line is very good at picking up blitzes. Jared Goff is going to have time. The key for him in this game is turnovers. You're going against a defense that I believe leads the league in turnovers. If not, they're one of the league leaders. Yep. I think they got like 11.
11.
Yeah, so they got like 11 interceptions on the year so far. They know how to force fumbles. So the key is to not turn the ball over. If we can get the same clean Jared Goff that we've gotten the last couple weeks, then this is a dub for the Lions, just flat out, man. I expect him to go out here, put up 200-plus yards, a couple touchdowns probably, but I expect that run game to be working too, so he won't have to do as much work. Continue to do what's worked for you, man. You know what the strength of this team is running the football. Run that football, set up the play action, and everything else will be available to you. But just do not make mistakes against this defense, because the Vikings are front runners. They are at their best when they have a score and a lead early and they can pace it out through a game. So you don't want them to get ahead in this one.
Here go Terrell from FL Kool-Aid. The problem is you guys are severely underestimating the Vikes D. The offense just can't carry every week without help. Listen. As it relates to the Vikings, from the offseason, I've continued to state that I believe that this was a team that was going to be better than a lot of people believe.
You were higher on them than most, honestly, to be fair.
It was because of the fabric of what we saw last year, what they did to their defense, and Sam Darnold, who if he plays clean football like he has, he gives them a much better opportunity than last year. Last year, we can unequivocally say the Vikings lost games because Nick Mullins was not playing clean football. And we know that we were happy recipients of a couple of those dubs last year. So it's like, you know what? No, I respect their defense. I don't think it's going to just be rough shot like we did with the Dallas Cowboys, but I do believe that Jared Goff is going to be a man in charge in that game. And sometimes men in charge, they win close battles. I don't know how close it's going to be, and we're going to give our final score predictions, but a couple touchdowns from Goff, a couple touchdowns from the running back duos. The Vikings are going to have to keep up.
And blitzing a lot could be to their detriment because they have a lot of weapons to account for on this Lions offense. Not only is it the running game, it's the tight end, it's Amon-Ra, it's J-Mo, it's Laporta. So they have a lot to account for, and if he wants to continue blitzing like he loves to do, that's great, but you are going to get burned. I promise you.
Like, I'm hoping Penei right now is hearing some of the scared and not stoked. Like, what? Do y'all know who I is? JB Smooth, real quick, brother. Jared Goff, what is he doing this Sunday?
Look, Goff, this is directed straight towards you. I don't need you to be perfect, but I need you to be clean on Sunday.
That's it.
I don't need 300 yards or anything crazy like that. Maybe 180 to 225, 2 touchdowns. That's it. Just play clean. As KG said, limit your mistakes, and everything else will fall into place. Penei Sewell, as you said, Kool-Aid, is probably hearing all the negative news that's coming out saying the Lions are done, saying that they don't have any crash rusher. Like, he's not here. Like, he's not ready for the challenge to step up on Sunday. Goff, just go in there, play clean, no mistakes, and leave out of there 5-1.
Motherfucker.
And for the record, and this is directed back at Terrell too, who I think has actually done a really good job in the chat today. We were aligned on a lot of things, but
I love Terrell
because I actually, for the most part, agree with you. You heard me earlier. I've shown a lot of respect to the Vikings and the upgrades that they've made on the defensive side of the ball in ways that they can hurt you, whether it's early on in the show, potentially not getting pressure on Sam Darnold, potentially having Justin Jefferson do what Justin Jefferson does, which is dominate. I could see all of those things happen. But when it comes to the offensive side of the ball with the Lions, that's where If they have to win a shootout, they can. And I don't want to give away too much because our predictions are coming up. But this Lions offense, it's number one in scoring.
Just ask the question. Yeah. We respect their defense, right? Yeah. Is their defense stopping the Lions offense? That's the real question. No. And I don't care how much you respect it, Terrell from FL. I already know your answer to that question. We all know the answer to that question. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Ben Johnson getting absolutely silly. Before we get into this next break, man, I just want to read that quote. I'm not worried about putting things on tape. If anything, it's going to set up the next thing down the road. The well is deep.
I'm trying to tell you.
The thing is, too, their offense is so good and it's so healthy, knock on wood. And Ben Johnson is such an offensive genius that he's got stuff that other lesser coordinators would not cook up. And even if people do have a vague idea of what could be coming, they can't stop it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's pay some bills and let's get right back with the final score predictions, the game predictions. Yep. Let's rock. What bills we paying, Mr. J.B. Smooth?
We got Mark White and the Boys and Girls Club.
Mark White gonna get you right. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. And then the Boys and Girls Club, they've got the final of the Youth Football League this Saturday at Ford Field. A lot of us are going to be there. I know Kool-Aid and JD Smooth got something special planned for that. That is very, very exciting. Happy to see you guys. Woodward Sports be partnered with this organization because you got kids who are put into a great organization already like the Boys and Girls Club. They get to have experience with sports, which is something that is positive, I think, for any kid, just when it comes to life lessons at the very least. And then you potentially get to play at Ford Field. Are you kidding me? These kids will be in hog heaven, and that's because they registered for the 3C Sports at bgcsm.org. And you know what? If you're a parent, you should inquire now about next year because those spots are going to fill up. So yes,
he ain't lying.
So yes, enjoy the final this Saturday if you're going, and if you got some kids and you're around the Detroit, Highland Park, East Point area,
Flint,
kids
everywhere,
everywhere. Yep.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Don't give a shout out to Flannel.
I just don't give a fuck. No.
New Island Brewing Company watch party and post-game show live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. Every single Detroit Lions football game. We want to see you guys there, man. The atmosphere is electric every time, and they're trying to get this changed now. Every time we score, they usually play forward down the field. Spinney is trying to get this changed every time they score a touchdown. Make it even that much more special. Hearing the Joe Louis horn blare out for every score, every big play. It's an electric environment. There's great food. There's great drinks. You get to catch the post-game live. You get to try some Sorokis as well and be with all of us that show up from Woodward Sports, including the heavyweights who host and hold down the watch party with other personalities and in the post-game show right after, giving you instant analysis, phone calls, and if you're in the building, hey, we give you a microphone to have your voice heard on the airways as well. Hosted by Stick and Anton. Only on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine. Taller your local long drink, 1800 tequila, Sabbath coffee, and I told you about that, Sorokis.
Speaking of 1800.
1800 tequila. You know, the tequila that I love, that, you know, took a shot of at the watch party, had a little bit of a pain face, but I have a pain face when I...
Tequila flannel.
Right. Oh, yeah, when I drink just about anything. It could even be Diet Coke, and I have a pain face. And I'm a big old bitch when it comes to hard liquor, so don't take what I said, how I reacted, take it with a grain of salt, because it's smooth. It is very smooth. An official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties, and post-game show. Join 800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila. Proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
What up, though, people? We are back. Wake up, Woodward. It's been a show, man. It's crazy. We're sitting here and the discourse amongst us, the discourse in the chat, and at the end of the day, it's still Sam Darnold, bro. And I saw somebody in the chat say, yo, he's a career backup. The real Sam Darnold will show up Sunday. This is an interesting game because the Vikings have put themselves at 5-0. They've done what they need to do. They've taken care of business, and they look good doing it with a defense. They look like NFC North football.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
And the one thing I'll push back on with Sam Darnold being a career backup, when a guy like Geno Smith finally found his football nirvana, he thrived. When Baker Mayfield, who teetered with it sometimes in Cleveland and then went to Carolina and flamed out, found his football nirvana in Tampa Bay, he's thrived. I think this might be that for Sam Darnold, to at least be somebody who can be incredibly effective when everything around him is right. And so far this season, that's how it's been for the Vikings. Now it's up to the Lions to muck things up a little bit, make the real Sam Darnold show up, because he's not a difference maker. He's more of the product of what's around him. But when you can at least be the product of what's around you and it's humming, you can win a lot of games in the NFL.
You can't.
He's not a scrub.
He's not at all. Not at all.
Nick Mullins, that's a scrub. Sam Darnold is not a scrub.
No, preach it. That was what was behind a lot of the optimism behind what the Vikings could do this season, and the fact that I thought they would be the actual bigger threat to them in NFC North than even the Packers and Jordan Love. It's if he can just play clean football. They had a lot of cheat codes on their team as well. And I like the coaching staff over there with the Vikings, but I like the Lions so much better. I just do. I know they're going to have to find a way to collectively overcome the loss of Aiden Hutchinson, and I think that they do. You ready to get into these final score predictions?
Yep.
Hey, let's rock. You know what? I'm thinking this game is going to come down 31-24 Detroit Lions over the Vikings.
Ooh.
2 turnovers.
All right.
2 turnovers, 2 sacks for me.
All right. You know what? I want to go last if you guys don't mind. KG, are you ready?
All right.
Let JB go real quick.
Yeah, I got one for you. Every time I do a score prediction, I don't want to go too high on this because it never seems to work out, never hits. So I'm going Lions 28, Vikings 17. Wow. I think this will be kind of a slow pace knockout.
You think
type
the
of
defense
game.
is still going to just be humming?
I think the defense is still going to have something in store. Aaron Glenn has to have something prepared for this team to just somewhat limit or at least slow down Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison at the same time. So give me 28-17. Lions still come out with a victory on this one.
Yeah, while Justin Jefferson is still going to get his, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be points in this game where their offense struggles, especially without.
Man, so cool, calm, and collected.
Come on, now, we done been here before, man. You either believe in this shit or you don't. So yeah, it's not going to be easy for them, man. They are going to find ways to generate pressure, and especially without Aaron Jones probably playing, then I feel like the Lions definitely have an advantage in this game. But give me 28-23. Forward down the motherfucking field.
Let's talk about, hey, chat family, get your final score predictions in the chat right now. You know what we're gonna activate? We'll just activate it, man. A giveaway. We'll randomly pick somebody. If we can get these likes up, about another, hey, we'll put it in the chat. But get your final score predictions in. JB Smooth, how's it going for you, brother?
Wait, what?
Final
he already went.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
No, that's right. We went a little bit out of order.
Sam. Yeah, Flannel Sam.
God, when I was walking into the office today, I was planning to pick the Vikings. And if Aaron Jones plays, if TJ Hawkinson, who's practicing, plays, if Pat Jones plays, and Carlton Davis doesn't play, I really don't see how the Lions win this game. But you know what? I'm still picking them. Because
get me fired up,
look at Sam.
I'm still picking
look
them.
at Sam. That's gross,
before
Sam.
you finish this, KG, start looking
Yes.
at some of these final score predictions.
Yes.
Get ready to read them off after Flannel. Flannel, get me fired up, bro.
I'm still picking them because when I really worked backwards when it came to our ability to, I think the Lions will run the football and stop the run. I think Sam Darnold will have a big game. I don't think the Lions will pressure him much. I think Justin Jefferson will have a huge game, but I think the difference will be the run game. If Aaron Jones plays, he's going to be a little bit hampered. And the Lions' run defense has pretty much proven no matter who they go against, for the most part, they stop them. And Aiden Hutchinson, I think, is going to be a massive, massive, massive loss in terms of rushing the quarterback. In terms of stopping the run, there are so many other guys on the defensive line and the linebacking core, whether it's Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch and even Terrion. In the secondary, whether it's Jack Campbell, whether it's Aleem, DJ Reader, Levi O, whether it's Anzalone, you've got a lot of guys who are just really, really good against the run. I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout, but the difference will be the Lions' run game. And I think it ends with the Lions salting the game away. They're going to have the ball with about 2 minutes left. Vikings maybe have all 3 timeouts. It's a 3-point game, and the Lions get that first down and salt the clock away. Give me Lions 34, Vikings 31, and a shootout.
Let's go!
That was a little bit of heart overhead, but I believe in what the Lions have to at least beat the Vikings. As the future goes ahead, I'm not so sure if they don't adequately replace Aiden Hutchinson, but I also believe that eventually they will. I think they'll get the win, but I also think reality will slap them in the face that we gotta do something about this pass rush, because I think it's going to be, for the most part, non-existent, but it won't matter because wins, especially road divisional wins, are all that matters.
Let's go, Jay-Z.
Survive in advance.
In the chat says, no matter the score, we win it by at least 10.
Damn. I don't know about that.
What's the final score predictions you sharing?
That's what JB said, though.
So, Jason Kenyon looked like a new person in the chat. Shout out. 34-21 Lions over on the points for the game. Dante 151 34-17 Lions. TJ Whammo 31-27 Lions. Don Beats 27-24 Lions. Steve Lehman in the chat 34-21 Lions. Stephen David 31-27 Lions.
Hey, they stoked.
Yeah, Chase Amley 27-17 Lions. Jay Cruzen 30-20 correct score. David Witt 42-27 Lions, baby. Jesus Christ.
Lord.
Patrick Ofiara 24-23. He didn't put a winner. I think that's Lions though. Come on now.
Yeah,
and then Daniel Sims 17-10 Lions.
Did we see Terrell from FL?
No, I did not.
Terrell, drop your final score prediction.
No,
I am
I'm like
very
genuinely
intrigued.
curious.
Yeah.
Because for the record,
talk about it.
I'm not going to be upset with you if you pick the Vikings. I just think you'll end up wrong, because I already gave you reasons to why I'm nervous, but ultimately I think the run, at the end of the day, as much as it's a passing league and all of that, if you can run the ball and stop the run, you're going to win a lot more, and you're going to win a lot more games than you lose. And in these close games, that can be the difference. Being able to sustain these long drives versus having, being behind the chains if you're the Minnesota Vikings. That'll leave you more open to throwing the ball down the field and maybe create some turnovers. I think the Lions are getting one. I actually think the turnover battle will be even, 1-1.
Did you guys see if he dropped the final score in there yet?
No,
I don't think
I'm
I saw it.
still looking.
Gosh. Man, I want to see. All right, we'll keep an eye on that because I know we got to get into the next segment. But largely, this was some therapy because I think we this is 5-0.
Yeah.
Vikings. They have some good things to like. They're not fool's gold necessarily to me, but I do believe that the Detroit Lions have the recipe to make them look like fool's gold. But I'm still predicting a pretty close, largely win for the Lions. 31-24, man. It's gonna be It's going to be electric.
And after this game, the Lions established themselves as the best team in the NFC, period.
Hey.
Period.
That's the word.
Even without Hutch.
That's the word.
Well, they'll be like the 1 seed. Like literally, they'll be the 1 seed.
Well, you know what? Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
And you can't forget about the Salvation Army, right?
Hey, the Salvation Army, because it is the best place to volunteer. And I know a lot of you out there want to do some good in the world and are looking for a place to volunteer, but you just don't know where. Well, the Salvation Army has a place for you with their Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7 and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though, people? When we were back as Wake Up Woodward, it's been a great show. Dante151, it's almost 10 o'clock. Holy crap.
I know.
That's wild.
Yeah, people, man, yo, Vincent E., the show goes by so fast. Shout out to Jason Kenyon. Thanks for the mention. Northern Michigan raised, living in Southeast Oklahoma. Found the network on YouTube the past year. I don't chat much. I love Woodward Sports.
Hey, shout out,
Shout
man.
out, brother. I know you got some... Oklahoma. And you said Terrell from FL had some...
Yeah, he answered and he said, I'm not picking. It's a coin toss, but it matters if Jones plays. Close game in the 20s, could go either way.
Will you drop a final score prediction? You know what, Terrell from FL, before the game, write down the final score prediction, save it, okay, and then tell us what it is after this game. I'm curious Monday. I just want to see.
No, I'm curious, and there's no shame either way. Like, trust me, nobody. I'm somebody who thinks largely it could go either way too, but ultimately pick the Lions. There's gonna be no shame if you pick the Vikings, and I'm not gonna victory lap if the Vikings win. We all want the Lions to win, and largely I don't hate your analysis. It's just at the end of the day, it's that running game, man. Yeah. Lions are gonna win by 3.
You know what,
shootout.
Let's go, and let's jump into the fantasy, but real quick, the fantasy football update, real quick, and a little bit of what's trending. I think this is a perfect bowl. Mike Reed, Vikings about to be 5-1.
Yeah.
Hey,
we all agree.
Definitely. You got something to spark up with?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, all right, cool. You got the papers, KG?
Yes, sir.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
I'm smoking on that JB Smooth pack. What's good?
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What up, though?
I will keep these short because I know we got to get to our fantasy update because we haven't done that lately. But I got to show you guys this court, and I hope you aren't playing on it because if this ball goes out of bounds, you might be going into the seats.
What the hell? They put the auditorium and the gym together?
Wait, what? Hold on, whoa. What am I looking at right now?
That's the auditorium.
That is.
And it's the gym.
Wait, bro, they got a whole gym on top. Wait, what?
That's wild.
What in the name of Inception is this, bro? Wait,
I mean, you gotta cut costs. That's
I
cool.
was just about to say, hey man, these schools is rough out here, man.
You know what is really gonna hit? Where they got a play going on while they're still playing ball in the background, bro.
Yeah, man.
Budget cuts.
Hey, budget cuts, man.
Budget cuts. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do out here. Sorry.
I hope no kids is falling off the stage, bro.
Yeah, right. Can't afford textbooks. Got to put the gym and the fucking auditorium together.
Hey, you gotta do what you do. Budget cuts. There's budget cuts, but you
Don
guys.
B said that's a play. I get it. JB over there is losing it. What up, though?
Oh man, guys, I gotta tell you, what is the perfect Saturday for you guys?
Probably Ann Arbor at the big house.
Yeah.
Good. Y'all know family stuff, man. That's Sabbath observation day. Lock in with the family, friends, and loved ones.
Hey, good weed. I ain't got to do no chores. Wifey done left me alone.
I don't have to do no chores. I love the way you put that.
Now, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. No chores. Wifey get to leave you alone. But how about fishing football?
Oh.
Hey, respect, bro. Respect.
Oh, man.
This is super redneck.
Fishing football.
I'm going to watch Texas A&M on the boat.
If that's being a redneck, sign me up, bro.
There's nothing more American than this shit right here.
I'm American, then. I want that. I want to go to there. Shout out Tina Fey.
Man, and look at that. Florida. Florida's down bad, man.
No, big facts. This is Florida, man, at its finest. If you hit a big wave, that TV falling off. So I hope you know the risks.
That Florida said cool but dumb?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
The right tide come in, that bitch falling off. So
I wouldn't risk it, but this is like the American dream.
Yeah.
Football on the boat.
Damn right.
Hopefully he's a Texas A&M fan. Hopefully.
Goddamn right.
He's a Florida fan.
Chat fan, what y'all think about that, man?
What y'all think about on the boat?
Just means different down south.
Right. I think it'd be dope, though, to watch a game like that in the Detroit River.
Love our southern viewers.
Right.
Be off the Detroit River watching a game like that, man. That would be dope. That would be fire.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it.
Like I said, hey, that's a good Friday or a good weekend of just fishing and football. What more can you say? Now I'm gonna send it over to KG so we can hop into this fantasy update that we got going on.
Definitely.
What's up, KG?
Get a few mailbag questions in the chat. We'll read a couple as well.
Yep. I'm gonna try not to take too long with this. Sorry, we just not doing it today. It's been a busy week, y'all. But this is the review of week 6 in the WUW Crew Fantasy League. And JB, if you can just throw those matchups real quick, we'll do a quick run through them all. What a week this was, man. Very interesting week in the league. I'll start with my matchup. Me representing Chuckle Cheese and Dante 151 representing Allen W. And I can't lie, Dante, you got some answering to do. You said that I got lucky. I saw you think I ain't see you in the chat talking about I got lucky in our fantasy matchup. Well, every starter on my team, aside from Saquon Barkley and the Saints defense, went for at least 16 points or more. And honestly, you could have won this game, but Mr. Lions fan decided he didn't want to start no Lions players. And they all went off on his bench, man. Jared Goff, 50 points. No. J-Mo, 17, almost 18 points. Jake Bates, 17 points. And the Lions defense, 20 points. Where you at, Mr. Lions fan? Hey, you supposed to be starting them, man. And Zach Moss gave you a half of a point. You can't win that way, but I come out victorious against the Detroit Devils. 183 to 141. Yep. We move on to our next matchup. Justin representing that guy 62 versus Broder representing James in the chat. Both QBs went off in this one, but they pretty much canceled each other out. Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen went for 41 points apiece. For Juices, man, Travis Etienne goes down with a hamstring and somehow gets minus points, man. I guess the one play he had was minus 1 yard.
Travis Etienne about to lose his job to Tank Bigsby. But that's
Tank Bigsby might be hurt too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, man, it is bad in Jacksonville right now, but he gets negative points for Juices. And if he started Keenan Allen or Allen Lazard over Jamar Chase, and to be honest, why would you? But if he did, he probably would have won this one because Keenan Allen and Allen Lazard both went for over 20 points. Jamar Chase just 12. So, man.
I told you to play Bears players this week.
I know, right? And for Broder, it's pretty simple. Derrick Henry, 25 points, had a hell of a week, and Garrett Wilson with 24 points. On to our next matchup, which was probably the match of the week, man. Flannel against Kool-Aid. Flannel representing Patrick.
Close loss.
Yeah, man. Hey, you are the biggest loser this week, but man, you could have had it, but you made some mistakes, my dog. I'm gonna get at you a little bit. But Flannel representing Patrick Ofiara in the chat versus Kool-Aid, who's representing MJ. And Kool-Aid, bro, you got to manage your team better, my dog. You started 2 players that were announced to be out way before Sunday, man. Brian Robinson.
Thank you, Optimize.
Hey.
That's anything I can trust to Optimize for in the app, because I gotta focus on the other duties.
My dog.
And then the Optimize let me down.
Brian Robinson was out with the knee. Malik Neighbors still on concussion protocol. Both did not play. And I mean, for Flannel, you did just enough to get by. Ty Johnson and Trey Sermon had 5 points combined. Amari Cooper and Mike Evans had 13 points combined. You were picked up by 3 players: Chris Godwin with 35 points, George Kittle with 22, and DeAndre Swift with 21 points.
So he came through for you finally, huh?
Yes.
Hey, I was monitoring that really close. That Aaron Rodgers interception won me that game, because I'm like, if I lose when he started Malik Neighbors,
I know
I can never live that down. And Brian Robinson, but you know what? I would never be able to live that down if that happened.
Yeah, that is nuts, man. 1 point victory for Flannel, 150 to 151. Come on, Kool-Aid.
Damn.
Do better. And our last matchup of the fantasy weekend, and man, JB versus Chase. Chase is in a downward spiral. I cannot stress that to y'all enough. But JB pulls out the victory in this one. Can't see the score. It's kind of small. Is that 150 to 128?
Yeah, 150
Oh, man, an ass whooping, man. Chase, I mean, he could have won this one. He had 2 players go down with concussions of all things, man. Marvin Jones Jr. and Chris Olave, who managed to get negative points. He had a negative half point in this one, and he started Braylon Allen that gave him 0.8 points, man. So he could have won this one, just had some bad luck. And JB, Lamar Jackson goes off 40 points, K9 for 20 points, and that Bucs defense chips in with 19 points. But man, what a slate this was. And I have our fantasy weekly awards, JB, if you want to get the graphic for the highest motor. Oh no, that's the standings. Let's do the awards first.
Okay, where do you want to start at?
Let's do the highest motor award, because you know your boy taking home a couple of these this week. But the highest motor award for the week goes to your boy KG. I had the most points, or the highest scoring team, with 183 points this week. And let's go to the biggest loser award, which we know to be Kool-Aid. Lost by 1 point. 1 point, my dog. Do better, bro. You had 2 players that were already out, man. Do better, Kool-Aid. And I hate to have fun at Chase's expense, but goddamn, for the 4th time this year,
You sound like you love it.
Chase, you are the doormat of the week for the 4th time this year, only putting up a measly 128 points. That is the lowest scoring team of the week. Chase, dog, you got to get it together. He is 1-5. 1-5.
My man Flannel showed up with the trench coat and the glasses. Like, showed up to see my eye.
Man, I wish he was here right now. What Spanish phraseology will you use to excuse your record, Chase? It's happening.
Damn.
I know this guy well, and I'm getting to know him. This man is allergic to accountability.
Hey.
He literally predicted the Commanders to be the worst team in the NFL, and he still acts like that wasn't a good prediction. But the owner, he was with Philly, and E equals MC squared plus Buenos Diaz plus Pavlov plus and that's why they're gonna be the worst.
Chase, you're not here to defend yourself, but we all know Flannel Sam might hate a little bit of the culture. But moving on to the award we've all been waiting for, the most important award in our fantasy weekly awards. It is the Freak Off Award. The biggest blowout goes to your boy I'm freaking off this week. Hey,
again, I'm sorry.
42-point margin. Hey, I'm not mad at the graphic.
That's a blowout, boy.
Brown dick, man. I am your Freak Off Award winner this week, winning by a 42-point margin. And let's flash the standings real quick, JB, before we get up out of here, man. Oh, man. All right. So now, I mean, we starting to shake out a little bit. You got Broder still in first place, 4-2 right now, but Sam is tied with him in second place. And your boy is finally in the top 4, taking my rightful place in the playoff spotlight, man. I am number 3, also tied for first at 4-2. Justin at 3-3 in that 4th spot. And Kool-Aid, you still got time to get it together, bro.
You are be gotten together.
You are in the 5th spot.
First place roster. Just a little bit of adversity. Just like the Lions. We're gonna be there when it counts.
We gonna see, man. 3-3 on the year, but that is your week 6 in the WUW Crew Fantasy League.
How many of them biggest losers do I got?
Yeah, that's 2 of them. Two.
Yeah. That's the narrative.
Yeah.
That's the narrative.
At least you're not doormat of the week 4 times.
We're gonna rewrite that.
It's bad for Chase out here. I thought Dante was gonna be the one suffering. Damn.
It's bad for Chase out here.
God damn, Chase. Get it together, my dog.
That sound like a Chappelle skit, bro.
Right.
Hey, did a cassowary guide you to suck at fantasy? Is that what it is?
Let him get this shit off, man.
Damn, I wish he was here right
My man
now.
Chase said, just wait until Monday. He forgets I cut the clips.
Well, Chase, tell me where I'm wrong. You
follow the standard, though, Chase.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
He got one in the chamber on you. It's looking bad. I ain't gonna lie.
Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Oh, man.
About your lack of accountability on anything.
Shout out to Vincent E as well. Kool-Aid about to go from worst to first. Hashtag believe. And you know what, chat family? You guys, hey, zoom past that like goal. Let's continue to hit that like goal. I need you guys to woo Flannel Sam throughout a few mailbag questions. He will be selecting what I'm going to consider a third winner because I already got a couple that I'm going to read off right now. That is Vincent E and Jason Kenyon. You guys email me, Kool-Aid@woodwardsports.com, and we will make sure that you guys get your merch. Get a couple Feldman mailbag questions in the chat as well, and we'll let Flannel pick who will be that third winner today. But like I said, email me at Kool-Aid@woodwardsports.com. Vincent E and Jason Kenyon. Again, thank you for the support as well, Jason Kenyon. I know you said you don't chat as much. You're glad that you found Woodward Sports. You've been kind of just lurking behind the scenes, watching us for about the year, better part of a year, but we hope that you become a more active member in our chat. We love our chat family. And if you ever get a chance to get up here, then, hey, definitely, man, we'll make the effort to do some boots on the ground. But thank you guys, all of you chat family, for your support. Let's get into this mailbag. I see Dante151. Hashtag Feldman mailbag. When I saw Goff, J-Mo, Bates, and Lions defense go off, I was so pissed. Why? Dang it, just why? But anyway, thoughts on TJ Hockenson not playing against the Lions, but be back in 2 weeks. And just for the people who didn't hear the fantasy football segment, he's not mad that the Lions went off. He's just mad that he didn't necessarily have them in the lineup, correct?
He did every other week.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want to do it this week. I'm a juggernaut, my dog. Like, I'm just saying, man. But Mr. Lions fan.
Yeah, thoughts on TJ Hockenson not playing against the Lions, but we'll be back in 2 weeks.
So he's officially not playing. Okay. All right. He's just another less weapon for the Lions to worry about. And even if he did play first game of the season, I still think whether TJ Hockenson plays or not, it'll be Justin Jefferson who goes off, and I'm hoping the Lions can contain like an Addison. But TJ Hawkinson's formidable. It helps the Lions that he's not playing.
Yep. Sayonara.
But nobody's going to feel sorry for anybody because the Lions have their own issues with injuries. Shout out Aiden Hutchins.
Are you speaking other languages too?
No, sayonara, man. We don't give a damn.
I love it, man. Our booth today is just run straight through your face. Don Beats, Feldman mailbag. We all know the Lions need to make a trade to replace Hutch, but what other position do y'all think the Lions need to get stronger in order to get our chances of a Super Bowl higher? Shout out to Don Beats.
What other areas?
Yeah.
I mean, there ain't too many. They got a lot of good spots on this team. If I had to pick one, I guess you could add a linebacker, maybe.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. I have a question, but I'm gonna save this one for after.
You good in this secondary? I mean, safeties, corners. I can't think of another spot. The offense is humming. You don't need another wide receiver. Tim Patrick has stepped the hell up.
Yeah, he's making a name and carving out a name for himself. I guess
the offensive line is healthy. Maybe you could add another offensive lineman for depth purposes, but
here's what I'll say, because I believe if Aiden Hutchinson were healthy, that they are the Super Bowl favorites in the entire NFL. But if I were to go somewhere else, you know who the Lions could really use right now, especially if one of their guys doesn't play? They could really use Emmanuel Mosley. If Carlton Davis is out, it's going to be tough. So maybe like a veteran depth piece corner. I don't know if there's anybody out there, but that's probably what they're missing.
Feldman, Mike G. All right, Feldman Mailbag. I can't read it the way he got it. Would a UM win over Illinois, a Lion win over the Vikings, and I'm sure this is for you and for me actually, and a blowout win by UM over Oakland be like the perfect sports weekend? And we love you, Oakland. We do.
Yeah, we do.
Go Blue still.
Shout out. Greg Campy was on the show yesterday, man, on Big D. Shout out to Coach Greg. But if there's any team I'd be okay losing to, it's Oakland.
I had to read that one. I had to read that one first because I also have one from Shad after. So first the Kumbaya one.
Because
that's your perfect weekend, right?
Please, Michigan beat Oakland, because that man Neil Rule will be so insufferable.
No, he go get his shit off.
He will get 80% of the numbnuts chat to actually believe that Oakland is as a better basketball program than Michigan because he's just that good at what he does, and it makes me want to seethe. Please, Michigan. I'd rather, if any team were to lose, I'd hope it were Michigan, Oakland, because a Michigan win at Illinois, it's like a must-have, and we obviously want. And I think the Lions winning at Minnesota is a must-have, but. A clean sweep, man.
Ain't this a exhibition? Sweep. This don't count towards the season, right?
Doesn't matter to Neil.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. But yeah,
I would like voice of the Grizzlies.
No, that's facts, man. But I really want to see what Dusty May is going to bring to this Michigan basketball team, because we desperately need our hoops team back, man. We are finally out of the clutches of my man's, but Dusty May, I'm looking forward to what he can bring.
And he brought one of his
Flandel's favorite.
He brought one of his lead horses from FAU in Vlad Golden. So love to see that as well.
And the last one here, I think that the first part of it is a great question. It's a qualifier. And I mean, he had to add a qualifier at the end of it, though. So, Shad, Feldman Mailbag. Since Hutch is out for the season, does the end of season record change? And that's for all of us. This other part, I assume Sam has the Lions going 5-12.
I literally have them beating Minnesota. If you rewind back about 20 minutes.
I had them 13-4. Maybe I come down a win, but I mean, this team should be good enough still to be at the top, man.
Let's rock.
I know, but I can't see the Lions not winning at least. I mean, 11 at the absolute worst, but I can't see them not winning 12 games.
I was gonna say my head tells me that they're 11-6 now. That's what my head tells me.
Mike G
and that's
said,
what I'm gonna say.
Flannel's not allowed as Josh Molly's now. Shout out to Mexican Town. I love Mexican Village.
Yeah, you're not making no friends in the Latin community.
And so do I. So do I. I just, and honestly, it takes one to know one. I can be a little bit pretentious on the air. Chase is pretentious in life. It's all good. It's all good.
He gonna get his shots off on Chase.
I mean, and I know Chase is like, he's got something on me. You know what? That's fine. I can handle it. I've said a lot of things in my life. I've said a lot of wrong things.
You gotta box the man when he's in front of you, man.
Work the body.
Except we did yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm just going off of the fact that he blows at fantasy.
That is a fact.
He's literally 1-5.
If he is the doormat of the week next week, we're gonna change it to the throw the damn towel award, because this shit is bad. Yeah. Throw the damn towel, bro.
It's already dead already. Is that a show?
Think so, man.
Yeah. Flannel, did you pick that third person?
Terrell from FL.
Hey, Terrell from FL. Kool-Aid at WUWsports.com. You already know, bro. Shout out and congratulations to everybody again. The merch winners, Terrell from FL, Vincent E, and Jason Kenyon. And chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this WUW Crew production. It's been a great show. Shout out intern Chase, that dude Justin, our brother Matthew Broder. And let's get this chest pass going. Hey, let's rock. I guess we go right to this booth. I'm sorry, KG. I might let you down today, man.
It's cool. We behind. We behind
this
anyway.
This elite booth, though. Detroit's #1 draft pick.
This
KG
Friday, I'm trying to get out of here.
Booth. What up, though, brother? Black Hollywood.
Y'all know
Great
what it
show.
is, man. Everybody have a great weekend out there. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my team. We did it again, bro. Shout out to the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame for having us last night. Met a lot of great people. Had a great time. Also, shout out to Zach Damon, who came up and introduced himself to us. Part of Ann Arbor tonight. He's a supporter of the show, so.
Yeah, improv comedy actor, too.
Yep. Big facts.
We're going to get him here. And the more Ann Arbor, the better.
Yeah.
Let's go, Blue.
Always.
Right, JB Smooth? Woodward Sports MVP in the dinner booth. Hey!
You just had to throw Ann Arbor in there somehow, some way. I don't understand this. Look, it's been an amazing week. Everyone have a very happy and safe weekend. Stay tapped into Woodward Sports and me on socials as well, too. I'll drop some bets, even though we didn't get to our betting segment today. I'll drop some bets for you guys this weekend, some things I'm looking at. And KG, is it time? Should we drop it?
Oh, it is time. And since you did a majority of the leg work, bro, I want you to go ahead and break the news.
Hey, look, we work as a team over here, but I'm proud and happy to say that both myself and KG will be down at the Wayne State University Fieldhouse for TNA Bound for Glory.
Yes, sir.
October 26th. You know, tickets are still available if you're looking to get tickets and looking to get in there as well, too. They are still available. Definitely go and pick up some. And as well, too, next week, some special guests from TNA are actually dropping by the studio well, too. Should we name dropping or?
We name dropping.
Hold on.
We name dropping.
Hold on. Hey, Flannel. Who's better than our booth, bro?
No. That's not even a question. The greatest booth boys that exist. And with all due respect to Chris Platty and Nick Koloff, they are almost tied, but I work with these guys.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
biased. It's okay.
I'm biased, yeah.
Are we the best booth of all time? We might be.
I think so. I think we definitely might be. But name dropping, next week we got some wrestlers from TNA dropping by. One, Mr. Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Mid-May said I believe in Joe Hendry in the chat.
Yes, sir. Joe Hendry on Tuesday.
Joe Hendry on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, the tag team duo, I wanted to dye my hair like this man back when I was younger. The Hardy Boys will be
Matt and Jeff.
All right.
Matt and Jeff.
Boys?
The Hardy Boys. Team Extreme,
Bro,
baby.
what? Bro, y'all already know my story about wrestling Die Hard as a kid. There was a lot of electric moments, but the Hardy Boys. I'm talking about you go to school and it was like you find a friend that's going to be your tag team partner.
Yeah,
like
they were culture icons. I was doing swanton bombs off the couch, like
that's what I'm saying.
Watching them as a kid, man. So honored to have the Hardy Boys, both of them in studio, Matt and Jeff, man. That will be on Wednesday. Both appearances will be at 11:30 on Big D Energy. So make sure y'all stay tuned. We're gonna have TNA related content all week long to promote Bound for Glory this Saturday, October 26th.
Bro, Tweety Bird 1 week, the Hardy Boys.
Also, D-Mac might put KG through a table. We don't know.
Yeah, hey, it could happen. It could happen. I'm open to it.
Hey,
I'll take a bump. I'll take a bump for the squad.
I'm telling y'all, these are our fighting guys, man. All things extreme sports. These guys are gonna be more and more boots on the ground. Proud of these guys. They deserve it. They're gonna do great work.
Oh yeah, proud of you guys.
Man, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, Flannel Sam. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Fire show, bro.
The more things stay the same, and I just want to make sure to let everybody know that Chase has been a very welcome addition to the show. I love the banter, and he knows it. We know it. We disagree on everything. I never met somebody like that in my life.
He your arch nemesis,
even
bro.
Even when it's like stuff as simple as like the most mundane stuff, he'll find a way to piss me off, but I love him still. Love that dude.
Shout out, man. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporting writer for the network. We got practice today, so I'll get some content from down there, and we got opening days right around the corner. And just really quickly, the press release came out. The Detroit Pistons opening day is going to be absolutely electric. The doors open at 5:30. You want to get your tickets. There are concerts going on. There's giveaways going on. There's a whole lot going on downtown. I'm just sitting here looking at it. I just posted it to at Detroit Kool-Aid as well as at Woodward Sports. It's going to be epic, man, and hopefully this team is trending in that right direction. Wish upon a Kamito. Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. He says you're the dude that always brings a ball to the party and start doing tricks to pick up chicks.
Yeah, I can see that. In the leather pants,
back
too.
in the day.
The leather pants.
In the leather pants.
You know what? In high school, I might have just walked around with the ball and just Shout out to the Summit Dragon.
His mind's telling him no.
Are you like that guy in the meme where it's like when your girl and the audience just like crossover.
Oh man, what a show, chat family. This has been epic. Thank you guys for being on one with us. We gave you guys 20 minutes extra today. A lot of overtime, but we came up with the dub. Have a blessed one, you guys. Smash that like button, share the stream. Go Lions! And you know what? We'll end it with JB Smooth's phrase now. Run through what made Samuel L. Jackson proud today? No. We'll end it with that. Let's go. Tell the people one more time. Lions versus Vikings. What they gonna do to the Vikings?
Lions versus Vikings is one play and one play only. Run through a motherfucker.
That's the show. That's the show. Let's go.
Motherfucker.